Yeah. I mean, if it's got to be done right, obviously I'll do it.
Who else has brought us in? Because I was going to say, you're kind of accusing them that they did it wrong.
No, it only happened when I wasn't here, and it was not wrong. It was never wrong. It was beautiful.
It's happened twice.
It was just not as good.
So it's happened twice. Paula did it once. I did it once.
Did I?
Yeah, you brought us in most recently on the last time. He was wrong. He was wrong and not being here.
No.
You're like, I was wrong. Was yes, you were wrong because you weren't here. What do we start now with, just so we know? What beer are we starting out with, just so we know?
The Squeeze Box Urban Artifact.
Is the Urban Artifact, is that the
Artifact?
You put the wrong emphasis on the incorrect syllable.
Oh my God, are we gonna get going or what?
I have no idea. I just want to know.
Oh my God.
It's a strawberry Midwest fruit tart.
Should have some chips. Maybe some popcorn.
SQEE. Do you not have popcorn left over? You didn't buy any popcorn?
It was 10 a.m., dude. What? No. I saw
so many people.
I party at any hour, okay?
Right. Jessica was at because she went to Edwards and she was really excited to get the Cheeto popcorn.
Oh, okay.
And there was none there.
Oh, sad day.
Cheeto popcorn.
I saw the Cheeto popcorn and I got this instead.
You should have got that full of Cheeto popcorn.
I wanted to. I don't think I could have.
I don't think you could have either. Okay.
Urban Artifact, is that who it's by?
Urban Artifact.
How do you spell it?
Dude, okay. We're going to start this in.
Thank you. Thank
Five.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to start this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Brewnomics, episode 66. Pick up sticks.
You had no idea you were doing that.
Nah, me either. I'm Jerry.
I'm Paula. I'm Dick.
I'm Will.
Hope everybody's had a good time since we last chatted. This is a big one. We're going to drink some beer. We're going to talk about some Endgame facts. We're going to do a spoiler-free review. And then we're going to do a big old fucking spoiler-rific review. So, yeah, it's a big deal to us. We're excited about this movie. We've been following it. We've been waiting for the culmination.
Nice.
And it was here. We all recently were able to culminate together. It was individually, but spiritually it was together.
We all climax at the same time.
Yeah, we held hands.
PK and Vic went to the same showing.
Mhm.
There you go.
We thought we went today.
So that's pretty much the big thing is, we're gonna, obviously we'll be gentle. We'll give you many warnings, but this is straight up a special all Avengers podcast.
Yeah, look in the show notes for the exact time stamp of when those spoilers start.
And they might be there. They might not be.
That's true. Yeah, we'll see.
But we're still going to drink and review beer, of course, because that's what we do. And that will always be special. There's no real theme to the beer on this one. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. But there isn't on this one. But our first beer is from Will.
This is called the Squeeze Box. It is by Urban Artifact. I picked this up off of Tavor. It's going to take me a second because Jerry put me on the spot to come up with
But it's
the
kind of
price.
funny because we both have Tavor and we've had to make sure before we buy a beer, unless it's one we know is going to sell out right away, we have to text each other now. Have you bought this one yet?
And
No?
this
Yes?
one,
Okay, because this was, one of a few that we both bought because it was to me, pretty intriguing.
yes.
It describes itself as a strawberry Midwest fruit tart. Says you should drink it 42 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. So maybe we'll let it sit for a hot secundo. Pretty high in alcohol too. What, 8.6%?
Yeah, Urban Artifact is actually from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ohio! Yeah, crazy that both Jerry and I both picked this out of, I don't know, however many Untapped, or how many beers that were featured on Tavor, and we didn't tell each other because we both picked it up right away, and we didn't have time. Cause sometimes those beers on there, they go really, really quick. I mean, I'm talking like hours. They're available and then they're gone.
Right.
So,
Well, and this is also one of those ones, whether it was there or not, we just didn't talk about it before. So
yeah.
it was like, hey,
It's been rated one of the top what is it? They use 3 pounds. I'm trying to read this and I'm messing it up, so I'm just going to read the little paragraph here. They use 3 pounds of strawberries per gallon in squeeze box, triple the amount used in typical fruit beers. And with 5 of the top 30 ranked fruit beers on Untapped, it's clear they're onto something. So sounds like, these guys do fruit beers really, really well.
Let's find out. What are their Untapped page say, Vic?
So this is a very intriguing beer on the Untapped stats. It has it at 8.5%, not the 8.6% on the can, but always trust the cans, as we've told you before. So this has an average rating of 4.11, derived from 4,725 ratings as of today, April 28th. It has 6,400 total ratings and 773 check-ins this month. No IBUs are known yet.
I'm getting what it smells like to me, and I don't know if you ever smelled this, but have you ever had like that frozen ice? It usually comes like a lemon and a strawberry flavor.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That's what the smell reminds me of immediately. It's
like
the strawberry version.
I mean, like a strawberry shortcake off the nose. A little bit of ice cream, maybe a sherbet.
Yeah. Very, very sherbety.
This beer smells thick. Is that weird? Like it's usually you smell beer for the aroma. Maybe some people can or can't, but this is the first time I've ever like smelt a beer and be like, this is gonna taste like
It's heavy.
like thickness.
Yeah.
Have you guys tasted it yet? Careful, it's gonna be a little tart. It is pretty much a sour, but it very much borders that line.
It's not a sour, it's a strawberry Midwest fruit tart. God. Jesus.
Sorry.
It is tart.
Jesus.
Read the can.
It is a little tart, yeah. But it's pleasant. Like it works for you. Like it goes with almost the dessert theme that it's in. So I kind of appreciate it.
I like that tartness.
Like it.
I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I love the way it looks. It's layered. It looks like dirty water almost. Or, there's a good hue to it, but still, like, I feel like I'm catfishing right now drinking this.
Oh, right. Yeah. Like minimum foam and
Yeah,
lacing on
it looks minerally for sure, like a puree,
Mhm.
watered down puree almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you had like a what do you call it? Something that was in the blender, but it was just the juice part of it. So yeah, like a juicer almost.
I can't afford a
Juice.
blender.
I have an extra. I'll give you one. It's all good.
Oh, look at that. This guy
That's
can
nice.
afford 2 blenders.
Look at
Like
that.
for extras.
No, it's just
Blenders are surprisingly
I've been married.
expensive though, man.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
no, you're absolutely for the really nice ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is I got my wife one for I want to say her. I don't know. We've been to get. I don't remember what birthday it was, but it was for a birthday gift, and yeah, she really liked it. Really liked it. So
Yeah,
we still have an
what
old
a-
one though.
What do old men talk about?
What a
right.
story.
Yeah.
man.
Welcome
What
to
a
the
story.
Blender podcast.
You guys have me on just to be sad about your future.
That's what you have to look forward to. Oh,
I'm so sorry,
as
guys.
you get married, blender talk.
Do you prefer the Kenmore or the Ninja?
It's been 3 weeks since I've been on the show, and welcome back, Will.
KitchenAid blender, obvious.
No, you got to go with the
That was
Ninja blender or the Vitamix. Or
Okay, that's enough
the,
blender
the
talk.
blend tech.
Until we get sponsored
Let's-
by whomever.
Let's rate this beer.
You're
So it's got a 4.11 again on Untapped. That's something. That's a rating. That's pretty high. What do you guys think of that rating? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you going to rate it around there? Are you going to rate it higher, lower? What? Tell me, Paula.
4.25.
Oh shit!
I really like the tartness of this.
What
beer.
was
It
the-
kisses me a little bit.
Do you? Sorry to overtalk, Paula. Say that again.
Oh, I feel like the drink kisses me a little bit as I drink it.
Oh, jokes
This
of this drink.
I know.
Maybe it's just getting to know me better.
Do you remember
Sorry.
what the price of this is on Untapped, Will?
Crap. The one thing I had to look up. No.
Dick. But a 4.25. Okay,
I
so
love
you
the way
like
she
that
looks.
rating.
I love the way she smells.
Mm-hmm.
I like her kisses.
Okay. Well, what about you, Vic?
I don't know if I had such an exciting experience Paula did, but I do like this beer a lot. I would give this beer a 4. I think the taste profile is right on it, everything that it claims to be, and it's tasty. I'm not even worried about price at this moment in time. High drinkability, though. I do appreciate it. 4.
Okay, so I found the price. It's $5.50 for two 12-ounce beers.
Okay.
Or you are required to buy two of them, so you're required to spend $11. And yeah, $5.50 for a 12-ounce can.
Okay.
But again, on Tavor, so you know that you're spending that extra $15
It's a little upcharge for sure.
for your case that you're
For
shipping.
sure. But that's still, yeah.
So it's probably more like $6.50.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't bother me. That's just for the speciality to it. I appreciate it.
I'm gonna go 4.25 as well. I think this is a really good beer. And if I was to put it in the sour category, it blows most other sours away easily. It is very, very good, very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I like it a lot.
What do you say, JB?
It's fine.
Uh-oh. It's not as excited as we are.
I'm not as excited as you guys are. They do have the independent label, so that's always good.
Hooray.
Go then.
Speaking of the label, it's just one of those little slapped-on wraparound ones. It's not like vacuum sealed or
Still a
heat
decent
treated.
label. They give you a lot of info. They do tell you on there that it's more sour. At 8.6, it also hides that pretty well.
Yes, it does.
So
It
even
really
though you
does.
guys know I'm not really as big on this sour train as you, but I still do enjoy this. I would give it a 3.5 though.
That's fair.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fair.
So I'm not sitting at the 4 route like you guys, but it is still enjoyable. And I think if you like the sweet sour tardy style beer, you should certainly hop on this.
Right on.
Jerry's one vote keeps us from it being a Brewnomics recommended beer. More on that later.
Ain't that a bitch? Oh well. Let's get into Avengers Endgame.
Do we have any news on that? I have my one little bit that I have. on it.
Sure, we could talk about a little bit of news as far as that goes. As far as like opening numbers and stuff, whatever. Yeah. What you got? What you got? Will? What you got? What you got? Will? What you got?
All right, so I got 5 numbers for you. Here we go. We're gonna make this quick because it's boring nerd stuff, and who else cares?
I care.
Thank you.
I care because you
Our
care.
listeners care. Paula cares.
The first bit of news is that this movie made 350 million U.S. domestic, topping out the last known record, and it is now a #1
Dude, that's amazing.
for the weekend.
It has. It's like all the #1s now.
Yeah, it really is. This beat out the previous #1 opening weekend, which was, you guessed it, Infinity War, but only at 257.6. This was 350. It demolished it.
100. Wow.
It shattered it.
I
mean,
didn't
was
realize
just
it was
beyond.
that much more.
Oh yeah. Going on with #2, it is estimated to be at, because we're recording this on Sunday, so it still has Sunday to go, technically. But it is estimated at 1.2 billion worldwide. 859 million confirmed already.
That's amazing to me. The weekend's technically not even over.
Right.
Yeah. And it's
they're
already
still getting
the
these
#1.
crazy
Yeah.
numbers.
It is the fastest to $1 billion worldwide, and doing it in only 5 days. And it is the biggest IMAX debut at 91.5 million.
Dang.
And there aren't that many IMAX theaters out there.
No, yeah.
I mean,
And you're considering that's like a $20 ticket, right?
just about. I paid $18 plus tax
Right, okay, yeah.
per ticket. I think it was like $18.50 actually.
Well, yeah, which makes sense because it's roughly twice as much as your standard movie ticket. So, yeah, that's not.
Yeah.
Woo, that looked amazing though.
It was really cool. We didn't like at first. So I saw it in IMAX. I think I was the only one here that did.
Mhm.
But in IMAX they have reserved seats, and I was one of the very few people that even got the Fandango website to work on. What was it, the Tuesday morning that they started selling?
I heard
pre-order
it crashed a lot.
It did. I was very lucky to get them, and so I was like, all right, I'm buying them because I don't want to have to deal with any of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And we sat closer to the screen than what I would have liked. Way closer than what I would have liked buying them.
Mhm.
And then when we got there, it was still maybe 1 or 2 rows closer than what I would have been preferred. But I try and sit right in the middle of the theater. I don't try and sit like way to the back or at the very back like some people. So if that gives you kind of an idea, but I will say this: when we watched the opening trailer for Star Wars, episode 9, and it shows the giant TIE fighter that Kylo Ren is flying, and he's going against Ren, who's just, on the ground.
Right.
It was life size, and I was right at that eye level of the horizon, and it looked like I was looking across a field and watching this happen.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It was amazing.
Pretty rad.
So yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And the last little bit of stat news that I got for you guys is this is the 8th Marvel Studios movie to earn over $1 billion.
Wow.
The 8th.
The 8th. And
The last-
it did it in 5 days.
Yeah, and the last one was Captain Marvel, and it just did it. It just did it like a week and a half ago.
And it just came out, what, in March? Good God.
Yeah.
2 months it takes, or a month and a half it takes.
Yeah.
What this movie did in 5 fucking days, man. That's BANANAS bananas.
Bananas.
I mean, although it's interesting, this movie needed to make that much money because there were some points in production that it was bleeding $300,000 per day.
Per day.
Per day. So
You
this
think about
movie-
all the people that were on, just the actors on staff.
Yeah, I was trying to
on set.
locate a production budget. It's unknown at this time, but I'm pretty sure it cost nearly $500 million to make, if not more.
I bet it was closer to the billion side.
Oh yeah.
And then you throw in like marketing and advertisement and press tours on top of that.
Oh, yeah.
Easily over $1 billion.
Easy.
But hey, they made their money back in 5 days.
Yeah, like
So
yeah.
good for them.
This movie had to succeed because of that.
The other bit I saw, so the Russo brothers directed this. I'm trying to think, it might have been Variety. The Russo brothers said this is officially their last Marvel movie.
I bet, man.
Oh, sad, but
Mhm.
okay.
But it makes sense, it's the end of the chapter. As we know, they've done a lot. I'm sure they want to go on and do other things besides this. But yeah, I think this is officially the last work of the Russo brothers. So appreciate your service.
Yeah, they like for me, dude. They changed the way like Marvel movies, like storytelling was done. Like they
Fucking
did
awesome.
an incredible job. Like with the advent of Winter Soldier, they
Mhm.
fucking killed it.
Civil
And
War.
they were the right people to
Yeah.
helm the entire the end of the franchise. So
I couldn't agree more.
yeah.
Well,
exactly.
they did write a textbook on how to do it. I mean, there's enough, special features and stuff out there to let you know that they documented every single method that they used in terms of how they made these movies and
Mhm.
how to keep going for other directors to make movies too. So they left a blueprint for
Nice.
sure.
That's so great of them just to give back that way. Some directors aren't as giving or thoughtful about what they do. So go Russos.
Go Russos, go Russos, go.
I'll be watching their work.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I have any other news on the Avengers. I'm sure I do, but I can't remember, and I didn't write anything down.
Go get a bunch of different little mini figs at McDonald's.
Don't know what to do.
But you want that.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Everybody likes
Go
cheeseburgers.
get a Happy Meal.
Hey, you get that toy and some apple slices.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Well, anybody got anything else on the movie, numbers wise, stats wise, facts wise, before we get into our spoiler free review?
Not really, man.
We're ready.
Let's get into it.
Mm-hmm. So no new characters in this one, obviously, which would have been kind of annoying if that happened, I think. What do you guys think of stuff about the movie and the cast and the action?
This is a non-spoiler piece?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I don't really know how to start this.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard to talk about this movie without spoiling it.
Exactly. Just talking about the directors, really, I think they did an amazing job storytelling. They had a huge amount of story to get through. This movie didn't feel like 3 hours to me.
Nope.
I thought it was incredibly well paced, and they wrapped up everything pretty well. I do have some items I wasn't super impressed with, but they did a
We'll get
really
to
good
that
job.
later.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the action, the fighting, the karate?
The karate.
The karate,
Mm-hmm.
amazing,
Oh,
mind blowing,
always great. Yeah.
choreographed really well,
Mhm.
and it always kept your attention.
Yep.
Like you didn't fall asleep in the action. You were
No
fully
way.
erect.
Mhm.
Yeah, hard, bro. I really liked it. I thought it was good action. I thought the CGI was done well.
Mhm.
didn't see any glaring holes or issues or anything that made me go, come on, man.
Yeah, they spent all their time during their movies like building up the CGI, the de-aging stuff, the aging up stuff, the aging sideways stuff. I mean, they just did a phenomenal job. It looks photo real all the time. It's great.
I can't add to anything else you guys have said other than, this is a giant culmination of 21 movies. And that alone is a feat that is probably one of the most impressive things, if not the most impressive thing that has ever been done in cinematic history.
Mm-hmm. It's up there in entertainment history in general.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, it's absolutely phenomenal. It's the greatest entertainment universe, fantasy universe ever built. I don't think there's any two ways about that. Never mind, I can say that.
Well, for me, it was a thing of like, I'm trying to think of a larger movie event of my life, and I can't.
Well, statistically, we can just say there's not one. This is the largest movie event
of all time,
which is why we have to have our own podcast episode very specifically based around it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's one for you. What did you guys think? Because obviously this was the culmination of 21 movies, the character spread in it. Did everybody get their fair screen time? Did you see, without spoiling anything, some people on screen more than you wanted, not on screen as much as you wanted?
So obviously this movie focuses around.
That's a tough question to ask in a spoiler.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll
go first because I've given this a little bit of thought. Both Jerry and I watched this movie on Thursday, so we've had a little bit of time as opposed to Vic and PK who saw it this morning. But yeah, I really do feel before I saw it, I wanted all of the I wanted the snap to happen differently. I wanted the main 6 Avengers to be the ones that went away, and for the new class of Avengers, people like Scarlet Witch, Vision, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. I wanted them to have to come together and be the ones to solve this and figure it out. And throw Captain Marvel in on that as well. I wanted them to be the ones. And after watching it, I have to say, it definitely closes the chapter of Marvel Phase 3 in such a way that it works to have the main focus be on those 6 characters. And it is diluted back down, and they did a really good job. And I can't discredit them for that. And I feel like they did a really good job of making it a conclusion story. Cool.
No, that is well said, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I think the original Avengers needed their time. I think it was done really well. If more time were given to any other newer character, it wouldn't have been the same movie.
True. I do like the idea of the newer characters and the ones that obviously we all kind of know going forward are going to be the more focal point of the MCU to do that. But again, I like the.
It didn't need to be the main story.
Well, they didn't have to rush it. And I want to say, like, the first hour of this movie doesn't even. It's very kind of slow paced at the beginning. There isn't a lot of fighting. It's a lot of coming to terms with the reality that they're in now.
Mm-hmm.
All of the hardship and everything else that they've had
figuring
to
out
face.
the plan, all that shiz and stuff.
Yeah, with all of those characters and those people being gone.
Yeah.
Which absolutely needed to happen. If they didn't give respect to that, then that would have just been a huge miss on their part. So
yeah, we went and felt it as an audience of what they're trying to portray.
Yeah, otherwise the emotional key points wouldn't have worked out the way that it did. So yeah, had to be done.
Had to be done.
But I think overall the original Avengers, the main characters, the cast, I think they had a fair share of screen time for their stories.
I think so as well.
Yeah,
I didn't feel like any one person had more than the other. I feel like it was the anchors, the original Avengers, bringing it down. Like I was okay with it being centered around them because this is the world that they needed to see, that they created, that they needed to conclude this area of their lives. And so seeing them work through that and do that really was the beans and needles.
I felt it was really well placed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do we want to? Does anybody else have anything else to add to that? I'm guessing Jerry's prepping for our next beer that we can go into, and then maybe we'll go into full spoiler room. Just because this movie is very hard to talk about without spoiling anything. Like I've been thinking about like how do I summarize this stuff, and
It's so hard.
like you can only go into like maybe the first 5 minutes, and then what you know from the trailers.
Okay, so
Without
let's actually
spoiling.
talk about that real quick. Trailer to movie comparison. How did you guys think the trailer did? Did the trailers ruin anything for you? Do you felt like they lied to you excessively? Did you enjoy the trailer to movie balance?
Trailers don't affect me at all. Like Big and I said, it's just they do not. They are what they are. You know?
They don't bother us. I kind of appreciate that they throw shit sideways. I mean, it's almost like an alternate universe in a way. Like, this is the way a story could have gone. We decided to take it another direction.
Well, I love when they do that.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
especially for stuff like this because I don't want the trailer to give it away. But one thing, and maybe I'm off, but I thought for the most part, everything that they showed in the trailer was like the first act of the movie. They didn't
it was
show
all within the
anything
first-
past that. So that was one thing that I always appreciate is if you can make a trailer pretty captivating and not go past the first, 20, 30 minutes of the flick.
So as people know, this is kind of a pain point, whatever hot topic you're going to trigger me kind of thing for me. And I will agree with Jerry that all except for like one scene, which had no context to it at all. I think the scene of Hawkeye being kind of filmed in red, in some kind of a red tunnel. I think that was the only thing that wasn't in the first 15 minutes of the movie. So just as a FYI.
So yeah, that was, like I said, I enjoyed that. And then I guess the last bit before we move on, how was your theater going experiences?
Oh,
For PK and I, it was quiet. The crowd was super respectful. They didn't get super into it at all, as far as my understanding.
But it's like early Sunday morning.
It was
people are
early.
leaving church. Like, you hear people talking about like we're not going to church. We're watching this movie.
God will forgive us.
Yeah.
He gets it.
The only outcry was like there was some noticeable like gasps when some I don't even know how to say this without spoiling it. So just like some things that could have happened, and people were like, and I heard that in the crowd. And then at the end of the movie, there was clapping. That was as
People,
much
yes,
as it
at the
was.
end of the movie, people they give it a good up for like
They did.
what it deserved.
Yeah, just a round of applause. I was like, oh damn, right on. Yeah, round of applause. So no, it was quite pleasant. People respectful.
I've always found that so interesting about movies, and not that I haven't clapped at the end of the movie, but they can't hear you. No one on the production team, none of the cast, staff. It's like, and honestly, we're clapping because we enjoyed it, and that's the way you show exuberance or excitement or whatever. But it's funny to me clapping for somebody that can't hear fucking shit about. It's not like a live performance.
Exactly. Yeah. I was like,
Well,
okay, guys. Okay.
I don't know about your because you saw it on Thursday, right, Jerry?
Word.
Yeah, so I did too, and I don't know about you, but like for me, anytime I go to an opening night or pre-opening night, as it were, for this, the propening. I love it when people cheer, and I had that at my theater. Like they cheered when there was like the grand reveal or first shots of different characters like appearing, which was really cool. I mean, heck, they even cheered. Well, that would be a spoiler to give that away. I'm trying really hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, they cheered all the time, and they clapped, and everybody laughed, and you could hear audibly people crying at certain times during this movie. Like,
I'm pretty sure people could hear me audibly crying and definitely audibly laughing.
your laugh and your cry are both very loud.
Yeah, I like straight up had my hoodie on, was like covering my mouth with my elbow. Like, try not to be a dick, but couldn't help myself.
Yeah, you're just sobbing like a little girl who lost her toy. Yeah. So
Weird.
I really like that. My theater going was great. The only thing that I noticed about mine, because I was the only one who went and saw it on IMAX, was that there wasn't, those seats are packed pretty tightly, and going to the restroom in the middle of a movie would be pretty difficult. Luckily, I I had nobody that needed to go past me during the middle of the movie, but
Because you guys all make it through without going pee?
It seemed pretty easy.
Yeah, I did too.
I did too.
I prepped myself for it though.
Yeah,
I was like, because I saw my showtime was at 8. Stopped drinking fluids at 2. But then I got home at 6. And I was like, well, fuck. Can't you expect me to go an hour and a half without drinking a beer at home? No! But just one.
Just one.
A few shots of whiskey.
There you go.
Then I'd fill up the flask of whiskey and take it with me, obviously.
I had nothing to drink the entire day. And then before we went out to dinner, and I had maybe 5 sips of water and a beer.
Okay,
And 1 beer.
so that's fine. Just enough to
Yeah.
let it sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm saying I had a pretty good movie going experience. Like the theater I was in at first, it was like they didn't flip all the audio switches. And
Oh,
I was
gross.
about to rage
Yeah.
on there, but then they fixed it. Not soon enough, but
Oh
they
no.
still fixed it.
How long did you go without like digital audio?
With just the front screen speakers, because that's all they have. They don't put.
It was just the front. All the
Yeah.
trailers, everything were just the front screen speakers. It was probably only about 2 minutes in. I don't know if I can say without spoiling it.
Just about how much time do you think it was?
Probably 5-ish minutes,
Okay.
5-6 minutes.
Okay.
Not too far in.
Well, that's
But it
good.
was like when they did it, you could tell they flipped it. It cut out the audio, and you missed a good like 3 seconds of audio.
Oh,
But
shit.
thankfully, it was like 3 seconds that was in the trailer.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I know.
So I know what it was. But other than that, that was pretty frustrating. And I was about to rage. I was about to turn and be like, "Fix my fucking audio!" But I didn't have to. And then it was fine. And then I just took a few drinks out of my flask and
Oh, yeah.
got my shit together.
Okay, good.
Enjoyed the movie.
Glad you had that change.
But the crowd, the audience was fine. It was a good response. The clap, like right when the in-game credit scene popped up after the, initial kind of open, they clapped. And when characters came back, they clapped at the end, same thing. But nobody was like douchey about it. I didn't have any like loud talkers or people around. I did have a lot of people, seemed like a lot of people couldn't make it through the movie without having to go pee.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, 3 hours, dude. That's a long time if you don't prep ahead. So, was it like you had like little kids in there?
Mostly teenagers,
Okay.
it seemed, but no, not really little kids, and they weren't douchey teenagers.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they may have been because they're teenagers and they're all pretty much douchey.
Sure.
At least that was my experience as a teenager. I was that way. All my friends were that way,
Hey,
even
man.
the sweet ones. It's just the nature of a teenager.
Some kids
right?
are. Yeah.
That's all right.
What are you gonna do?
But like I said, none of them were disrespectful or anything like that. But
Good. All right.
Did any of you guys have anybody outside the theater like be talking about it while other people were in line for concessions?
no,
or
but I
something?
did read an article that somewhere in China, this dude got like jumped, straight up fucking jumped because he walked in the theater and was like, beep, 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 and everyone's like, you motherfucker, and just like started wailing on him.
Oh,
Beat
wow.
the fuck out of this dude.
Jesus.
Good. Wow.
No, good. Yeah, please, if you're going to go see this movie and you haven't yet, I mean, obviously you're going to end our podcasting out right now. But yeah,
Don't be that guy, or
Don't
you
be
might
the
get
guy.
jumped by the fucking crowd.
on the way out of the theater, like go back, make sure you're like in your car and then start talking about it, please.
Right. Beep, beep. He did the beep, and then vroom.
That's exactly what happened actually.
Yeah.
It was all the beeps and then the room and then the fucking crowd.
Oh, you forgot about the sirens, man. Yeah. All right. Well, we have another beer here, so let's talk about that, and we'll get into some spoilers.
Let's talk about this beer. This is an exquisite New England style IPA fermented with the explosive power of pink guava, then exposed to a nuclear amount of vanilla beans and lactose sugar. Drink fresh.
Sorry, that was a fantastic read on that one. Like, this is very intense. Like, this shit is blowing up. And then, hey, drink fresh.
And yet we still don't know what it's called.
It's called the Milkshake Dreams India Pale Ale with vanilla beans, lactose, and pink guava from
Dionysus Brewing.
Dionysus Brewing.
Brewing. There we are again.
Dionysus, the god of gardening.
Yeah.
Is that true?
True story.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's from Bakersfield, California, and it sits at a 6.8 ABV.
Another one, it's like super cloudy like the last one we did, but I guess that squeeze box had that lactose too. So kind of the same effect. This one's a pint can, kind of a cool pink checkered look to it.
Kind of like a 50s race car vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a drive-in kind of thing.
Kinda
Yeah.
Like a 50s diner, sort of like Jackrabbit Slims.
Yes. Very, very Jackrabbit Slims.
Yeah.
We got a $5 milkshake.
Reminds me of
Perfect reference.
the diner we were at just earlier today.
Yeah.
This I also picked up off Tavor, and it was $7.99 for one 16-ounce can. Again, probably plus your Tavor upcharge, so maybe plus $1.50. So depending upon how many you get, how many beers you get on your shipment. So there you are, $8.50 for this can. What do you guys think about it?
It smells fucking awesome. Sweet. Like, this is a really fun smelling beer. It doesn't, if I just blindly smelled this, I would think it's a juice, not a beer.
Right, absolutely. I get like
Agreed.
an orange-sickle
Yeah,
vibe.
kind of thing. Like a creamy, citrusy, sickly.
Like an orange pineapple juice.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
like the juice?
Your thoughts?
Oh, wow.
I think it tastes pretty good.
Wow. I like that. Wow. And it tastes like a milkshake, like a pineapple milkshake.
Yeah, it's got
Kind
a
of
good
like a cream
thickness.
with a little bit more citrus to it.
Yeah.
It
I'm
really
not
does.
getting
But
any of that thick creaminess at all.
really?
Yeah.
It feels more like a juice to me, I would say, than a milkshake.
Yes.
That's what I'm gathering. from
Exactly.
it. It's hiding the 6.4% ABV really well, not super boozy. But I wouldn't expect it at 6.4 actually.
I like this really a lot. I feel like this is a really good representation of a hazy
Mhm.
IPA.
With the milkshake aspect to it. I really like this. Did we go over the untapped stuff?
Oh no.
We went over like this normal stats, but we haven't brought up what's on tapped yet.
Cool. Yeah, so this is a 4.13 average rating on Untapped, derived from 1,200 ratings. It has 1,500 total ratings and 22 this month. Like I said earlier, it's at 6.4%, 35 IBUs. It was added about 2 years ago.
Never mind. I feel like now it's coating my mouth like a milkshake.
Ah.
There it is.
I only took like half the drink.
Sometimes it does that. Like, what was that beer you got a while ago, Vic, where it was like this sweet tea pale ale? And I drank like 2 of the beers, and I was like, "There's no sweet tea in this whatsoever." And by like the third one, it was just like pure sweet tea. It was like really good, but for some reason, I couldn't taste it at first. But once I finally recognized it,
What you got
couldn't
drunk
get
enough?
away from it.
Yeah, no, he was right. It does like, sort of transform over time, which I find this beer is doing. Like it kind of continues to evolve the more it's exposed to air and warms up a little bit, which is interesting.
Dionysus Brewing also has the independent label on them, so all sorts of independents today. Captain America would be proud.
So
So with Lady Liberty.
So I guess let's rate it then. Will, you got it? Start us off.
I have been trying to figure out where the heck I'm going to place it because as a representative of like the hazy IPA, I know it's really good.
I think this is more of it's definitely way more milkshake than hazy.
And that's where I'm getting confused. And so I don't quite know where to rate it. I'm kind of bubbling between a 4 and a 4.5.
So might as well settle on a 4.25.
And that's where I'm at. And thank you for the lead in.
Either way, that's a really great
Um,
rating. I'm sure they'd be proud.
Normally we don't feature beers that we like this much on the show. Like usually it's I want to say our show runs around about a 3.25, 3.5 average. And yeah, I'm just very surprised. This is 2 great beers back to back.
What was the cost on this guy again? Remind me.
Oh, I don't know if I ever got around to it. Oh no, I did. I
think
did.
you did, yeah.
It's $7.99 for 1 can plus the
$8, okay.
yeah, plus the upcharge because it's Tavor. So I figured you added like $1.50 because of how many beers you're probably ordering on your $15 shipping per carton. So $8.50. So yeah, I'll stick with that rating, the 4.25. Even at that high price, I feel like if I was at a bar and paying,
Well, it's a
I
specialty
wouldn't-
beer for sure.
I wouldn't be sad about it.
There'd be some hipster bar that would have this beer.
Yeah.
Hardcore hipster bar.
Oh, totally.
There'd be lots of furry, twizzled mustaches on that heavy
And
spot.
maybe some furries.
Flannel.
Yes, lots of flannel.
Tight pants. Tight pants.
My tight pants on.
My tight pants.
Lots of Al Borland's walking around.
Yeah. Cool. So everybody rated? No, we haven't.
No,
I think
I've been the only one
rated it.
that's rated it. What do you guys got?
Paul, what do you got, man?
3.75.
Okay.
It's the way that it gradually drinking it does get better, but at the same time, I don't like the way it coats my mouth.
Okay.
Mhm.
No, don't like the mouth.
But I do like to swallow. Everybody, ayo.
Ayo.
And I do like the way it smells.
I love the way this smells.
It's very floral, aromatic. It's got that great juice vibe to it.
Oh, but I was thinking thicker. You know, a bit more viscous. You know, milkshake.
Were you hoping
A little
for it?
I kind of
fluffier.
was when it says milkshake.
For
plain
sure.
on the can.
I get
Yeah.
it.
I get you.
I think it tastes fluffy. What was your rating?
3.75.
3.75. Okay. What do you got, Nick?
I'm gonna do a 4. I think this is a well-crafted beer. It's floral. I love the juice notes that I'm getting. Get that vanilla piece, that ormsicle smell, which I fucking appreciate the hell out of both of those.
Mhm.
The price point is a little high. That would bother me a little bit at eight or so a can. That's tough. So that's why I would give it a higher rating, but that price point is a little difficult for me. So I will be settling at a 4.
Jerry?
I think I'd go 3.75 for reasons.
Such as?
Good reasons.
Cool.
Great reasons.
Just whatever
I think we
reasons.
heard them all.
Yeah.
No, I like the price. I don't like the price, but I get it. I don't think it's absurdly priced. I love the smell. I do like the taste. I don't like the milkshake aspect of it because, if I drink way more than a lot of this, it's gonna be painful.
Fair.
So
Totally fair.
to me, ultimately, what it comes down to is how many of them I can drink in a row, and this is a one and done for me.
Okay.
Other than that, I might rate it a little bit higher, but still a good beverage. So 3.75, really enjoy it, and again, honestly, one of the best smelling beers I've ever had, like ever had. The smell on this is tits.
Very floral.
It should be a Scentsy for sure.
I agree.
Whenever
That'd be
we
great.
get drunk and then go get milkshakes, like that was just stupid.
Yeah,
That sounds like
we
a-
were young though.
That sounds like a very bad idea on your
We
tongue.
get like pancakes and stuff too.
Yeah.
And milkshakes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
in a
even
lot of ways that time.
depending upon what kind of pancakes you're getting, also could be a very
IHOP
bad idea.
pancakes.
Yeah.
Mm.
We had a friend that was a server at IHOP at late night, so we go and visit him at like 2:30, 3 a.m.
Just drunk off your ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, have somebody, somebody drive you down there, and then there you are. And what
Well,
else are
we
you going
had
to do?
somebody-
It'd be like
Driving us
country
down
fried
there.
steak and eggs
Yeah.
with a milkshake
Mhm.
after a long night of drinking.
Right.
Ugh. I'm
Okay, so that was it. We are going to take a quick break real quick, and then we're going to come back and get into some hardcore motherfucking full-on Avengers Endgame.
Hardcore.
Spoilers.
spoilers.
Uncensored.
Yeah, definitely uncensored. Also, so we'll chat to you guys in a bit. Enjoy this ad. We'll chat to you guys in a bit.
We are.
Thank you. Thank you for the break. I just felt it coming. I was like,
Get some air. Say goodbye and stop that because we're just
hey everybody, we're
restarted.
gonna have a restart this here right after our break. If I can find the button,
Just end.
there it is, upper right. Here we go.
Upper right. Upper.
It's at some corner. YouTube's still there, right?
Give the rest of this milkshake one to Jessica, which is too bad because I actually enjoyed it.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Is it? Yeah, cool.
I'll keep YouTube going. That's fine.
It's like, yeah, if you got to afford it.
Do you need more for that, or did you pour the whole thing out, or you got more?
I'm good. So I have to take it too.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so.
Amazing.
Yeah.
She can have just a sip.
Whatever. When the beginning of the episode, when we just locked eyes and I was trying to take a sip, I wasn't noticing. I nearly spit. I was just like, God damn. The world doesn't know.
Yeah, we just had our own little moment there.
The world doesn't know.
Yeah.
Should probably pee too.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
We'll be back. Fast forward if you're watching or if you're just listening through your YouTube.
You'll know because we'll all have sat back down again.
Take some trash while we're at it. It's easier to clean up that way.
Yeah. Oh, Evie's still here. That's fun. After the show, we still got beer there. Okay.
You say that so he wants to get a picture, but
Just figure out what's wrong with it. What I'm done here. But it's, yeah.
Well, this is what I thought about that, like, recent, and stuff like that, that barbarian, all their milkshake, it's good for one glass, and then
Are you watching?
it's called Quick, it's a Netflix original, it's, right now, it's Friday from the third, the first game that starts with the
Yeah, let us know. I realized it. Gross.
Yeah, it's called the same.
It's called a fucking coffee cup. Your cup? My
Oh, that's not okay.
posted that, so we have. Good response, so I'm not gonna lie. Pretty proud of it. My strong, smart, sensual woman.
It's not.
What? Left-hand juicy goodness, dry hot cold. It's good, try it. It's a very simple. Well, right, got one show. Is it anything? No, not quite. It's pretty light though. But I wouldn't say it's a hazy. We had it on the. More or less, is it more or less bitter than the Clipping Cat or the? Less. The Clipping Cat's more bitter, for sure. Okay. So if you want the lighter one, that's what you want. You can grab that and throw it for me. Familiar? Is it familiar? I honestly, if you feel like it's all up next to me and I drink them, I probably wouldn't be able to. That's very accurate. I mean, I can actually figure out things, but. Oh, that's me. What are you looking at? No, you got a place to get kale at. Right, yeah. Movie. I've been watching the
movie and cutscenes.
I've barely played any of
And
it.
it's
So shut your fucking mouth.
4 hours long. Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. I was gonna say that I've been watching. Dude.
That's what I felt like. I had a few people, customers that came in, and I was like, yeah, I watched Endgame. They're like, oh, what do you think? Are you gonna see it? Yeah. Don't worry about it. Tell me if you like it. And then they're like, and most of their responses were like, appreciate it. Afterwards, they laughed right. I was like, oh, thank you. Actually, I was like, the only thing I'll tell you, Bill's we're in There's a noise if you want to Google it, Google it. Well,
The thing I tell people that most people ask me, like, does it live up to hype? And I just tell them, yeah, it does. It does. Maybe we should go back in there. We got to some really close to that. I missed you. You're like, what? Oh, sorry, puppy. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're like, what?
I think that's what maybe why Daisy gets in the way. I'm gonna accidentally trick them to make it's this evil dog.
Sorry. You're gonna like that. Yeah, it's really nice. It's juicy sunrise and egg.
Yeah, I'm not in the lighter beer shade, but I go like. No, that's Mexico rushing everything. It's fucking Chicago, bro. The Corona's pretty kind of staying in Mexico right there.
Oh, it's
Fruit and bottle. Cerveza Hotel and
just me. Here you go, Mark. See all those.
I believe it. Rolling around. That's what I wasn't sure. I thought it was, but now it just comes out absolutely.
Wine bottles that fell.
And these Corona bottles are fucking
They're
solid, dude.
They will last.
Yeah. This is like if you're in a bar fight, you want to hit somebody with a bottle, so if you grab a Corona, they're going down, and you might still have bottle left for their friend. You know, those motherfuckers are, yeah. Oh yeah. But these ones, dude, and like when Sobe made glass bottles, dude, you can almost like throw those motherfuckers off the ground. I remember being in like the 9th grade and just testing them, like fling them in the air, like they're being so hard to break. You get them there, but I was like, it's amazing how much effort it takes to break these fucking. And they make the best bread. Okay, let's do that good.
Yeah.
Okay, now we
One more beat? Wow. You okay?
Maybe.
Say, one beat's okay. 2 beat, man. I'm guessing he's going to bring us back in with the Idaho beer, if I had to guess.
That's a good guess.
How many do we have in there? We just 2?
Yes.
I know we're live on some networks, so I don't want to say what we have, but I'm gonna grab another just to be on the safe side in case we go long and we have more to say.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab that other stout from Tabor, just to be on the safe side in case we need it, in case we're not done, we have more to say, and we need another little thing. So.
Great, we're going to launch.
Yeah, like how Evie knew right where we were going. She just walks right in here.
So they're mowing a lawn, which is going to be a little bit annoying.
Ah, that is annoying.
Oh, we're both in here now,
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna
How
kick
to
Daisy
make
out,
it.
yeah.
She just don't see it.
She'll want to get out. She'll want to go hang out with Mom in a second.
You're right. Thank you. I wish we had.
Call your dog.
Do you want to? It actually looks okay, but we could reset the Instagram cam.
Oh, I
Maybe
plan to
move it
reset it.
just a little bit back, like towards the door, like you had. Here, I'll give you the live version. Thank you, everybody out on YouTube who's,
Yeah, the mics is
There you go.
the sounds.
I was gonna say, how's it sound on the mics?
Not great.
Not great.
YouTube.
But I mean,
Well, that fucking lawnmower.
there's no amount of filtering that I could really accomplish that does that knocks it out without
Is it done?
degrading
It's not
the
that bad. The lawnmower thing. You could rotate a little. You wanna
little
can you
more
see it?
towards you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm such a special baby.
I get it.
No, you got it. You're good.
That's good.
There it is.
Okay.
Right there.
Go up here.
We bring us back with the iTap that. I'm assuming. The Pugzilla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah shit, I'm going down, baby. Going through the lane, going straight to sleep, baby. Cock ready to let it go. Take me, shimmy, cook, what? Listen to the lamb. Light up and smoke a pot, pass it to me down. You can find me.
You guys are taking me back.
Nelly's terrible.
Nelly's fucking terrible, bro.
Nelly is terrible.
Man, that's some jams back in the day though.
But yeah,
Fucking
I'm not gonna
terrible.
front, man.
Nelly was one of those that, like, I never understood how that motherfucker was famous. He was garbage.
Because he had the bandana under, or the bandana underneath his eye for some reason.
Bandanas and band-aids, man. What happened to Ja Rule?
Oh, Fire Island.
Talk about somebody
Whatever
who
it was.
also sucks.
Was that the guy that peed on somebody? No, that was R. Kelly.
That's
That was
R.
Kelly.
Yeah. Isn't he still around? Somehow?
He's
I
alive.
mean, we were acapelling like R. Kelly.
Right? That kind of fucking ruins a lot of fun.
It does.
I don't even know who I'm singing at.
No,
Whenever
that's
you guys
good.
do that, so whatever.
You just, I like that.
You
guy.
only know,
that
you
keep
only
that-
know if it's
yeah.
Dave Matthews.
That's yes, yeah, or John Mayer. Now, actually,
I got a lot of respect for John Mayer. He's a good cat.
John Mayer.
Listen,
whatever, man.
Love John Mayer.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's a really good guitar player.
he's like one of the best. He's fantastic.
He's quite good. Yeah, actually, I was just being. Okay, well, if you're watching, we are going to go full on Avengers Endgame spoiler review. You've been warned. You'll be warned again, but you're getting warned now. So just so you know, you've been warned. You've been warned.
Ooh, got a pop gun.
All right.
Who's bringing us to the return? Who's quantum leaping us back?
We're going right. Just so you know, you've been warned, but we're gonna do a beer and then we're gonna do it. Then we're gonna do the spoiler thing. Shut up! Bring us back! Hurry up! Do the countdown.
All right, I'll bring us back. I'm sure.
The final countdown. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, Brewnomics. I hope you enjoyed that little fact of knowledge that we just imparted on you, and I'm sure you're a wiser, better, stronger, more independent, well-developed person because of it.
Hopefully you learn something about yourself or,
Stop it with
about other people.
So,
Wow. Shut down.
now time for our I Tap That Beer. This is from Edge Brewing Company out of our very own Boise, Idaho. They have a beer called the Pugzilla IPA, but this is the Mecca Pugzilla IPA. Boom kapow! It is a 10% with 62 IBUs, and it is a pretty adorable pop art comic book label with a Mecha Pug. Zilla.
I would have given you the boom kapow, but you give me a lot of sass today, Jerry.
I missed you. I had to make up for it.
Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's all good. What else can you tell us about this beer? Do we have any untapped ratings or anything like that, Vic?
Yeah, I do actually. Not a lot, literally. It's sitting at 3.75 average rating on Untapped, derived from 425 ratings. It was added 2 years ago, and it has a total of 543. So this must be a very specific.
Is that the Pugzilla or the Mecha? The Mecha might not even be on here. I wasn't even looking at Untapped. I don't know. This is the first beer that's been poured so far that when I poured, I'm like, hey, that actually looks like a beer.
Yeah, it's not hazy or cloudy like the other two that we had on earlier.
It looks like an IPA.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for pouring, Jerry. I appreciate you.
Oh, whoops, I read you the wrong one because I didn't see that this was called a Mecha Pugzilla earlier. Okay, so.
I'm glad I didn't go out of my way to bring that up.
No, well, you didn't.
Totally did.
Interesting.
We'll see if Vic edits that out of the podcast here before it goes there, but now that I've said that, probably not.
I keep my mistakes. I'm a normal person. So, yeah, this is sitting at 10% alcohol by volume, 62 IBUs. It was added this March of this year. It has a 3.67 on Untapped and only has 22 total check-ins.
This is sitting at 10 ABV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was saying, so it's the Imperial version of it.
Well, last
I've
time-
had the Pugzilla. We haven't had it on the podcast. I remember thinking it's a pretty decent beer.
This
That was a while
This
ago.
is the Mecca version, though.
Yes,
Okay,
Mecca.
just clearing that out. Also, last time we had anything 10%, you yelled at Vic pretty harshly.
I did?
Yeah, you're like, Vic, what the hell are you doing? You're trying to get us all messed up. Oh, it's just a super high ABV on the show, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Sometimes I get rowdy. I can't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we yell at each other. It's fine.
I like the higher ABV beers. That's on me. So I'm like, yay, thank you.
Why do we do it?
To get fucked up.
Wow, this is a very citrusy vibe to it.
So
Who
they,
knows?
again, new beer. It looks like just added, but I just started seeing it around here. But yeah, 3.67, but that's only 19 ratings. So we have a lot of power to sway this beer one way or another.
Oh, okay.
What do you think? Okay, start us off. Well, what do you think?
No, this is great. It's got a really good hop malt balance, especially for a double. Also, yeah, I'm getting a lot of Citra off this.
Also, sorry to interrupt, Will. If you guys can hear that, our asshole neighbor's deciding to mow his lawn at 5 in the afternoon on a fucking Sunday. So hopefully you guys can't hear that, but if you do, we apologize.
He waited to the last minute. That being said, completely derailed me from my train of thought. Anybody else want to continue from what they think about this beer?
It's got a really great color to it. It's a nice ambery, almost like a tea-like color, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a great floral aromatic piece to it. Kind of very citrusy.
It's really good. I like the smell. I like the fact that it hides the 10% outrageous.
It drinks easy.
Oh yeah.
Very easy drinking
I just
for Imperial, aka Mecca IPA.
What did you pay for this here, Jerry?
Almost $10.
Almost 10, like $8.99, $9.99.
$9.79
$9.79. Okay.
at Brewer's Haven. God damn it! I ripped the label off so nicely and it rolls up on itself.
Awesome, because that makes fantastic noise.
But
It's our Brewnomics ASMR.
ASMR. So that is the one thing. It is not cheap. So almost $10 a bottle is kind of what we're looking at here.
What do you guys think of Edge Brewing?
They're okay.
All right.
I've been to their brewery a couple times. I like what they do.
Like they have food, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
food,
yes,
right?
yes, they do.
Okay.
They're really good food.
Like their
Yeah.
food. They have some that great, like truffle Sonic fries.
That's some good burgers. Is that like a peanut butter burger?
They're
Like a
street
See, that's
sauce.
a weird thing. What is with that lately with the fucking peanut butter burger?
Well, it's an interesting like savory sweet flavor that like offsets a little bit of the protein to it. Actually, I quite prefer it.
It's been around. When you get really exotic and hipster with it, you do a peanut butter banana barbecue sauce burger.
Jesus Christ.
That's
Did
crazy.
you add bacon on that?
I was gonna say you can have bacon.
Bacon should already be on that.
Yeah.
'Cause it sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
I don't think there's ever been a flavor or type or style of burger in the history of burgers that bacon has not improved.
That's fair. I don't know.
I can't contest that statement.
Tell me I'm wrong. You can't do it. I mean, you could
Yeah.
tell me I'm wrong, but I mean, in your soul, you would know that I'm right.
Before I lost my kitchen, I made an Elvis sandwich, like peanut butter,
Yeah, peanut butter and
banana,
bananas,
and bacon.
and especially if
The
you
beef
toast the
meats,
bread too.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
It's amazing.
And all you have to do is add burger to that, and there you go.
And there you go. All right, so let's see. Would we rate it? Would we tap it? What is our I tap that segment? Somebody.
I'll go since nobody. Oh no, PPK. You had it. You were looking up. Go ahead.
What? Oh,
Or I tap that segment. What do you got? What is it?
we choose a local or Idaho brewery, and we had to unanimously agree that we enjoy the beers. I believe we had to rate it at a 4 or above overall.
That's correct. No.
No. It doesn't matter the rating.
Okay,
No, the 4.0 and above is our Brewnomics recommended beer. The I tap that is the Idaho brand segment, and would we drink a
This
lot?
is our
of it?
66th episode, and I'm
He's
still
learning.
drunk. Yeah.
Still learning.
Just waking up from his coma. Would we drink a whole keg of it? Right.
Right. Whether it's a
Would we
pony
tap
keg, a
it?
Would
small
we
keg.
tap it?
Ooh, excuse me.
Or fuck it.
Or fuck it, whatever. However it
Whatever
goes.
you're into.
Would we let it tap us? Ultimately, is it good enough to drink repeatedly, recommend to friends, have them over, share the beer with them
Yes.
for an extended period of time? At least a month.
All right.
Is that a new rule now?
No.
I don't know. No, it's not a rule.
No.
Uh,
would you have it
all
on?
these things?
If you were to have your own bar, would you have it on tap?
I'll go first.
Sure.
I'll tap it.
Yeah.
4.0.
Nice.
I like it. I love the way it looks, love the way it smells, love the way it drinks. And I think it's not a little group of friends, or maybe just the four of us. We would drink it quickly.
I agree on both of those. I was actually thinking the same thing, a 4 and a tap.
I'll do a 3.75. I'll tap it, but yeah,
I'll tap it, but I'm not happy about it.
No, yeah.
I'm hostile, bruh.
No. Like, yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's why I'm rating it 3.75. I'll tap it, but I'm like the 10%, man. That'll destroy me.
Well, that's
It's gonna
a
be
huge
some-
selling point.
It's going to do some damage, but yeah, I agree with Paul. That's going to do some huge selling point. I'm going to match you though, Vic. So don't feel like you left out in the cold. This is a 3.75 for me, and yeah, I would tap it.
Nice.
Surprisingly, I would tap it. It'd be good. So normally we only need 3 out of 4 or a 75%. Here we get 100%. This beer is getting tapped. Great job, Edge Brewing, on the Mecca Pugzilla beer.
It's a great name too.
Yes, it is. So go out if you find that in 22-ounce bomber. Go ahead and pick it up.
Pick it up.
Shall we?
I think it's time.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert, everybody. Spoilers.
Don't make it weird.
You
So
You're
yeah,
weird.
full-on Avengers Endgame, the culmination of Marvel for the last 11 years of our life.
Yeah.
Quasi-culmination, yeah, 11 years and 21, now 22 films. So we're going to go over references, Easter eggs, reviews, talk about scenes we liked, scenes we didn't like, characters we liked, characters we didn't like, whatever it may be.
I didn't write all that down.
Yes, we might be talking about more about what we liked and didn't like, but who knows? So I guess let's begin just kind of from the beginning. in whatever way. I don't know how we do it. We don't have to go over too much as far as character development because we know these characters, we love these characters, we know what happened before. So let's start off that beginning scene, the opening. Hawkeye, he's back.
I called it.
You did.
I called it. It was a scene before the snap. This is the scene where Hawkeye's family disappears around him without him kind of realizing what's going on, causing a giant mental breakdown. And overall, it is a giant gut punch.
Dude, and it's harsh because he didn't see them like dust, which would be difficult, absolutely
Yes.
difficult. But the fact that they're just gone, you see, they're just gone.
Yeah, he doesn't even notice that the dust.
When
is
you're
there.
one of like the world's best secret agents, whatever, you notice things, you see like you would have seen a mile away if anybody was coming to your house if you're Hawkeye. So just all of a sudden, just done. Like fuck, man, that was like a punch straight to the gut, heart, scrote, whatever.
It also proves like how isolated they are as well, because all that shit's happening, and so she's just like, we're just here having a picnic, you know, on my fucking ranch.
Right, they have no idea that Thanos is trying to take over the world.
Well, and I don't know if you guys got this or not, but there is a giant like family parent thematic theme running through this movie. And this just launches it 100%. Just launches it right off the get-go. In terms of what family means.
Mm-hmm.
Not just to the, you know, in like, oh, mother, daughter, father, son relationship. It is what family means to a group of people that have come together as a cohesive unit, working together, and what they mean to each other.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And yeah, I mean, it just starts out with Hawkeye just shooting arrows with his daughter, and then they're having a picnic. And there was this joke about putting mayo or mustard on a hot dog, which you know we were having a conversation earlier.
That's
It was just
pretty
sort of like,
funny.
who puts mayo on a hot dog? Honestly, I've done that before, but it's a certain type of hot dog.
Oh, I've totally done it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm with Jessica from last episode. No mayonnaise on anything or anything ever at all. No Miracle Whip, nothing. I hate it.
You don't
I hate it.
Like potato.
No, potato salad
Salad.
is the devil. That is the worst possible food. I hate everything in there. I hate pickles. I hate hard-boiled eggs. I hate mayonnaise.
This is
I hate
amazing.
mustard.
This is-
I hate mustard.
White bread
That's what I'm
American.
saying, dude. This is like the whitest guy I know not liking the whitest food there is. That is just, all right, well.
Wow.
You define the odds
Noted.
sometimes. Well, look at that.
You're welcome.
Look at that. And then then it kind of goes to the cuts, the Avengers frame after that, and then we get back to Steve Rogers kind of leading a support group. There's some pretty cool cameos in that.
Yeah, we have Anthony
Oh,
Russo
yeah.
in there.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is fantastic.
Yeah, I really like that. I noticed that right off the bat. He's in there and just doing a character.
It was actually Joe Russo, but an extended
It was
dialogue one because
They're
Joe
twins.
Russo's been in a lot of them, but this is the first time he's actually had any dialogue in.
Yeah.
His first openly gay character in the Marvel universe. And then they do a pan to everybody else in there. I don't know if you guys noticed, because I wouldn't have noticed this, so I didn't look it up. The old man with kind of the goatee that they lingered on for a while, that was Jim Starlin, aka the creator of Thanos, aka the writer of the Infinity Gauntlet comic book.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I wouldn't know that. At
Yeah,
all.
so a lot of people wouldn't. So that was
I
kind
did
of
not
a
know
cut
that. That is
Easter
pretty
eggs
cool.
to where we got the creator of the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos right there. In
Good
the support
job,
group.
Jerry. Thank you for looking that up.
Yeah, absolutely. Shit. What was after that? We go back up to space with Tony.
Well, it's yes.
Okay. So what do you guys think about that scene? The spaceship.
Dude, just playing paper football, and then Nebula being like, I want to play again because I won. It's just kind of adorable.
Oh,
you know?
dude. And she's like, I did have fun. Like the way Karen Gillan's great at that character, man. She's a really awesome actress. It's too bad she's ugly.
One for her,
Nebula.
that
Karen
character.
Gillan.
He's not.
She's beautiful.
I don't think he's gorgeous.
She's
He's gonna be like, Jerry, what? How much are you?
quite sarcastic.
Okay, good. I'm a very literal person. I'm like Drax almost. Okay, so no, this was great because she's a very competitive person, and most things she hasn't won in life. Like everything, she's always pitted up against her sister Nebula. Gamora. Sorry, Nebula versus Nebula. No, that's later in the film. This is she's normally pitted up against Gamora, and she almost always loses. So this is cool to see, you know, Tony be like, okay, good job, you know, trying to like be the, you know, pseudo father that he eventually will
More like
become.
a friend.
It was just fun,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and,
they were stuck
and then
together.
there, a lot of moments that also shows like, Nebula, although she seems like this cold-hearted, kind of broken killing machine, she's very sweet. She's very sweet to Tony Stark. Rather it's refusing to eat food because she can handle it, or
Right.
carrying him to bed or sit down or whatever it may be, knowing, genetically she's going to be able to out-survive him.
Yeah.
Even for a long time. And just her, like, also kind of repaying that favor and taking care of Tony was pretty sweet, I thought.
You saw the evolution of her character within like 2 minutes, if that,
Mhm.
of her just hanging out with Tony. And it showed a lot.
I think so. And then, of course, we get the surprise, or who I kind of thought this would be the savior. I think a lot of us called how
Oh,
Tony
yeah.
would get back would be, of course, the return of Captain
Captain
Marvel.
Other people thought it was going to be Pepper Potts in the rescue suit.
There was a theory, a little bit of
It
that.
just makes no sense for the
Mhm.
technology they have. She had on Earth.
Exactly, especially how far away, because
That's the
apparently if you're really good, and I didn't look into this because I'm not an astrophysicist, but the galaxy pattern that you see in the back is the Milky Way. So he's like fucking out there. Even Iron Man tech's not going to be able to take a fucking suit to get you all the way out that far. You're going to need somebody like
Not that
Captain
fast.
Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about his entry and return? We kind of noticed before that a little
Tony?
bit. Well, before they re-enter the atmosphere and they arrive and he has his moment and his monologue, we notice ScarJo's, what she's doing, what Black Widow's doing. She's out there kind of being the new head of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Pretty much.
She's talking to a raccoon. She gets emails from a raccoon on a daily basis.
Oh, I thought that was, dude, talk about that, a great line when, I don't know if that kind of leads into it, but when Ant-Man comes back, it's like, I've got a theory, it's kind of weird. I get emails from a raccoon, so can't be that weird. Hey, that was pretty good line.
For me, that whole scene was just how much she's setting up what Hawkeye means to her. Like at the end with War Machine, as she's talking, War Machine's discovering what Clint Barton is doing.
Just going around murdering
And-
the fuck out of drug cartels and mafias. It's
Everybody.
awesome. Going full on Punisher.
Well, yeah, like he just after he lost his family, he kind of lost part of himself and like almost refined himself. And my thought he had to go back to being an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and he's like, I'm just going to.
Well, I love the way he did it too, because this is, when he gets there, one of the lines that he says is, or I can't remember exactly what it is, but my family's gone, but you're not.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
No, it's nothing. Yeah, nothing about it was. Yeah.
Or it was. It was ultimately very fair. Just not to Clint.
Yeah.
But that's one of the weird things too. It's like half the universe, and it's like you got a family of 5, and everybody but you is gone. So that means there are still like families of 5 where they're all intact, where they're just like, oh well, thank God for that.
When even flashing forward a little bit even further, where Pepper and Tony are talking, it's like we were very lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's Pepper that's still around, it's Tony that's still around, and the John Favreau's character.
Oh, Happy.
Yeah, Happy's still around too.
Mhm.
He didn't get snapped either, or snaptured.
I don't
Combination of snap and
know.
rapture.
I don't know about that because we
I
didn't
don't
see
know if that was ever
Happy
actually answered.
until after they
To the-
re-snap
Yeah.
happened.
Maybe not.
So I'm not sure. I just
Tony's
don't
daughter
know.
seemed comfortable enough with Happy to be like, I don't think he was re-snapped in.
Fair. That's actually a great point. So Paula for the win on that one.
Yeah,
Agreed.
good job,
He
PJ.
was not. Yeah.
All right.
Happy did not get snappy.
I did scoot us ahead a little bit. What did you think of the re-entry with Tony coming back to Earth?
I was surprised how soon in the movie it was.
Agreed, a
Honestly.
little bit. I mean, it was
It
15 minutes in. Yeah.
was like 5 minutes in.
All right.
I don't even think it was 15. I thought it was like super fast into it, but I thought it was fine. I thought it was interesting how much it seemed like he hates Captain America even more than before.
I love that aspect. See, he's not letting go at all.
Mhm.
No, he felt let down.
I would have too.
It's like, I warned you about this. I mean, he practically said, like, you are the reason why we failed. You know, we do our best work after. We are the Avengers.
Mhm.
I mean, that's
Yeah, but Tony's whole pre-save the Earth plan didn't go very well.
right. But I mean, even Joe and Anthony Russo have said the reason why they didn't defeat Thanos the first time was because of Civil War. It was because they were split. They were divided.
Oh yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
totally. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
it's
makes
totally
sense.
Tony's fault, though.
I totally agree with what he said. Superheroes, register.
Yeah.
I gotta trust you.
No, exactly. Yeah. They should be
I'm
governed.
sorry, Cap. He's like a terrorist now or some shit in Spider-Man. What was it? He's a.
Yeah,
Yeah. Straight up vigilante.
I don't agree with that one.
Fair enough.
We
I
have-
want to trust my heroes.
Yeah.
This is
you
very
can-
interesting in that we have both Jerry and myself who are agreeing with anti-registration, and Vic and PK who are very much for the Sokovia Accords.
Hmm.
This is almost a little Civil War here right now.
We can start. We can have a Lincoln Douglas
It's like
style
Cumber versus
debate
White.
eventually. Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
Everybody's thinking
There's
it.
also an interesting dynamic to that factor. But anyways, so then we go to dingy, grungy repo yard. I don't know, where it's like they have a bunch of old vans, vehicles locked up,
Yes.
Just storage facilities.
storage facility.
Everybody
There we
had
go.
theories of how Scott Lang was going to come back from, I always want to call it the microverse, and I'm always wrong.
The
quantum realm.
Quantum realm. Thank you.
Mhm.
Everybody had
Similar
theories.
spellings. So I get it.
How he comes back, and how does he come back?
By a rat or whatever it is.
Exactly, dude. Step aside, Pizza Rat. There's a new savior in town. Oh, we're in the spoilers. I thought it was going to be Luis. I'm a little sad it wasn't, but it kind of makes sense, right? It's a storage facility in New York. Eventually, a rat's going to walk by and do something.
Well, it proves how serendipitous like life is. You know, that type
Agreed.
of thing.
And that's the
Agreed.
sort of, and it's also to me, that's the sort of thing that fucking would get Scott Lang out. Because he just has that weird luck X factor to him that
He does.
How did he survive? That Scott Lang factor, yo. He just gets out.
I want to say on the back of his Scott Lang's Marvel card, because there've been like 3 different Ant-Man, but on Scott Lang's back of his Marvel card, luck is like higher
Super
than-
high.
than normal
Everybody, yeah.
for whatever reason.
Well, that just reminds me like of the stats of God of War, man. Luck was a part of his skill tree, which is very interesting to me. So
Great.
yeah.
And you know, in the movie, it says 5 hours in the quantum realm is 5 years in our reality.
Well, I think he said that, but then he also kind of said, but that doesn't matter because time just does not work the
It doesn't,
same.
of course, because we even saw in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Michelle Pfeiffer's character was in there for what, 30 years? Or
Don't
something
get
like
stuck in a
that.
time vortex.
And she was almost the same age as Hank Pym. So there you go.
So we never really know.
I
But
always wondered what she ate and drank.
I did too.
yeah,
You have
time.
paramuseum piss.
What?
I don't know.
What do you guys
Pure
think
fighter.
of that cameo, the security guard that let out Ant-Man?
Oh, you
From
mean
his
Chang?
van.
It's pretty
Chang?
great.
Ken
Ken
Jeong from
I thought that was pretty rad.
I love that he did a cameo with no line.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because he's always an overtop character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, Paula.
You're not wearing headphones, don't yell.
That was hard.
Why do you think I don't wear headphones? Jerk.
So you can yell.
So I can yell. I don't like things in my ears, and also so I can yell.
Then
Yell to our ears.
then just back away from the microphone. Just this much. Just that's all you have to do. And then you can yell as much as you want.
Okay, stop it, Will. So what are we talking about again?
So that was a great one. So after that, then we pretty much. What would you say happens after that?
Scott Lang comes out.
Scott Lang comes
he meets his
out.
daughter.
Oh, that's right. He goes
Well,
back to Cassie, who
he's
is a
just-
much grown up Cassie.
Yeah, he's discovering what happened to the world, and you're just he's seeing the after the snapping the first time, and he discovers his daughter, 5 years older.
Discovers the
Which
monument.
at that
which has his
age,
name.
going from what, 8 to 13 or something like that. I'm not sure what the transition was, but that sounds about right. What a fucking age transition. Could you imagine that? Thinking you've been gone for 5 hours, you come back and your child is 5 years older?
Well, no, I think she was 9 and it went to 14.
What the fuck ever? Close enough.
As a father to a daughter, those years are critical.
Exactly.
Like, think about, where you yourself, listener, where you were at age 13 and 14. And, your dad's gone during that time. This whole thing happens to the world. Like, ugh. I'm just glad that she wasn't part of the snapshot. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm glad that it didn't show that, she was gone. I'm glad that Scott Lang at least had that.
Was it the same house that she lived in with her mom and?
It seemed to be,
Dad?
yeah.
I thought it was, actually. I can't remember for sure, but I had that same question, like, is that the same place?
Because like
It might
that
be.
was a grit, yeah.
I thought it was.
And like your parents don't like you because you lucked out.
Yeah. It didn't actually
It didn't go into that, so we
to
don't.
say, but we knew that she was around
Right,
She was around. She was paying the bill somehow.
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 But I thought that was kind of cool. I like the way they alluded to that, or not alluded to that, that whole relationship dynamic, and then jump over, of course, to him going to the Avengers compound.
Yeah. And then we have kind of the intro that Captain Marvel is now there. Didn't have quite the same entry as what we saw on the end of Captain Marvel's movie, the trailer, or I'm sorry, no, not the trailer, the end credits scene where she flies down and gets the page. That wasn't in the movie at all. In fact, it's more so meant that she gets the page, then goes and finds Tony, and then comes back with Tony.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now.
Which doesn't really matter how that got there ultimately, but she's back.
Thanks.
It doesn't though. We had it in the end credit scene. We saw it, so we know she's there. We all know she's going to rescue her. So this movie's already long enough, right?
Agreed.
We don't have to keep it dragging. But this to me, so we go through all that, then they're kind of making their plan to go and re-find Thanos, essentially, and then Thor does his hammer thing, and that's when the audio cut out for me. Right when it goes by your head, and he goes, "I like this one," or whatever it was. That whole segment.
Yeah, she gives this like little smirk because she
I
doesn't
mean,
react.
I was
to
like,
that.
that's a lot of weird sexual tension right now. They're two powerful beings. I'm like,
Yeah.
only you guys can fuck each other right now in
Yeah.
this particular moment.
Oh,
That's what I
yeah.
was
Dude,
like.
No, you're absolutely right, PK, and I'm glad that.
when your sex registers on the Richter scale.
to
Damn.
Yeah.
go full spoiler, I'm glad that
I've
Thor
never
is
done
going to
that.
be joining the Guardians of the Galaxy. That's going to be pretty awesome.
It's going to be very interesting.
So from here, they all decide to go and beat up Thanos out on this new farm that he's established for himself. Right?
Yeah.
And what happens then, guys?
Well, it's kind of interesting because I like how they go around, or they get there, they find the planet, and Miss Marvel's like, "I'm gonna do some recon," and she's like, "It's literally just him here, no shield defenses, nothing." And Nebula goes,
No army.
That's all he needs. That's enough."
Yeah.
But was it? Clearly, it wasn't, because Dave Rocks. Wait, no, wrong thing.
2 days prior, he'd already used the stones to destroy themselves, so he did not have the stones on him anymore.
Essentially to make his victory definitive, because he's a smart man and Titan, whatever he is, and saw this coming. So they get there, they hold him down, they're all beating him. Thor chops his hand off. Then he says, "I destroyed the stones." Ha ha ha! I am inevitable. And he gets his motherfucking head chopped off.
Yeah, by Thor. Because, yeah. Thor needed to do that.
He needed to
Go
go
for
for
the
the
head.
head that time, yeah.
He needed that piece.
Great
It
line.
didn't help though.
No.
Great line.
No,
Everybody laughed in my theater when that happened. Like, oh, I went for the head, and everybody just laughed. It was great.
See, in our theater, in Vic and I's, it was more like, he beat you guys again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, same. There was not laughing in mine opening night. That was kind of like, oh
He's won again.
shit, yeah.
Okay.
Everyone's still sad.
which is pretty much how the movie went on that scene. Is everybody was still sad, and then we see on the screen 5 years later. 5 years. I mean, a lot can happen in 5 years. Do you remember 5 years where you were, listener, or even you guys here in the room, where you were 5 years ago?
Probably checking off somewhere.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, having a beer.
Well, hopefully I was having a beer, but
Maybe
yeah.
a chicken strip somewhere.
Oh, jeez.
I'm recalling what's happening, and I think you guys have transposed the story of the film, mostly because
Well, you saw it most recently, so go ahead.
yeah. So what had happened was we start out with Tony Stark, and it's more of the first few minutes of the movie. Captain Marvel locates him on the way to Earth, takes him back. They then develop a plan to get to Thanos. They get to Thanos, then there's the 5 years later. So you guys described what happened after they killed Thanos. Before that, does that make sense?
No, after they killed Thanos. Before that, what?
What? No,
No, you guys did it backwards. That's what happened. All right. Well, let's keep moving.
I don't think we did.
I'm pretty sure you did.
I'm sure
Like-
you and I are good.
Nope, you're not.
Where are we in the story right now? And does it matter where we're going? Where are we going? What's happening next?
You tell me, man.
And the podcast derails. The end. From what I remember, the next thing that happens is the Avengers come
Well, they all
back.
fall apart, right?
Well, no, this is the part that you guys don't quite remember. This is when
Oh, he
Tony-
was right.
Tony goes and talks to his daughter and Pepper, because the Avengers go and they think, hey, I've got
Yeah,
the
Ant-Man comes back after things.
time travel,
Mhm.
right? And Tony then figures it out, and he gets asked by Pepper, "Are you going to be able to rest or whatnot?" And
No,
no, I'm not.
because he sees, mostly it was he saw the picture of Peter Parker
Yeah,
that he had.
because he's already a dad at this point. He's got a 6-year-old, 5-year-old, whatever,
At least 4.
at least 4.
Fucking murder our neighbor. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're the only one without headphones who can really hear it. We can't even hear it anymore.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably not
Not
even.
pick it up on mic. Okay,
register
good.
on the
There's
mic.
loud banging outside.
So yeah, for me, like, this was okay. You're establishing the dad relationship, which then leads into the semi-dad relationship that Tony had with Peter. Okay, I need to go and fix this. I need to bring Peter back if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Which then leads to him even questioning, like, should I just throw this whole thing into the lake? You know, put it in a box and throw it in the lake and not ever
Pollution,
do it?
Tony, don't do that.
No, right. So he decides instead to go and try and finish up and go. You see tire squealing, right? And him entering the Avengers complex after Ant-Man has undergone attempts on his life to time travel him, right? That was a funny part.
When Hulk's trying to, Professor Hulk,
Yeah.
He's trying to work the time travel piece out.
he's not very good at it.
He's not.
Bruce Banner's smart, but
He's not that smart. It's not his forte.
it's
forgot
not his
about-
forte.
Forgot about the Faraday paradox, that's all.
Oh, that's one thing. I fucking hate time travel.
It doesn't work like Back to the Future? Are you kidding me?
I just hate it. As far as a plot device goes,
It complicates and unnecessarily complicates a storyline with too many different possibilities.
So is that your guys' one takeaway from this whole thing that you guys don't like? Is like, yes, great movie, whatever. You hate time travel because
Well-
it makes it too convenient.
Well, we knew time travel was the only possible way they could find any resolution
To bring
this.
back everybody
Yeah.
else.
Agreed.
But it's complicated the way it comes out. Like, I got lost in the convoluted storyline, which inevitably happens with any sort of time travel like plot device. So it is what it is.
yeah, but it can also be fun to be able to throw them back into certain aspects, like going back to New York in 2012 when they went to try and retrieve all the Infinity Stones because they had to get those. So the way they kind of cut in older scenes and older movies, a lot of that I did think was a lot of fun. Going back to the 70s where we see, I believe, our last Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah. Before we get into that, I'm just thinking, Jerry poured us another beer here after he threw something at me for interrupting him. But I'm thirsty, Jerry, and I want to drink this beer.
I'm thirsty.
So we've got another on backup. Who cares? We're taking our time. There's no reason to hurry on this. This, do you want to introduce this next beer, or should we have somebody else do it?
Oh, cool.
Okay, PK, you go.
This beer is from Fremont in Seattle. It says, because beer matters on the can, is called the Dark Star Imperial Oatmeal Stout. It has a pretty cool dragon, I would say, on the label. Pretty rad. Pretty rad. Pretty fucking rad. Oh, this is a whole novel. Damn, dude. So it says, we are a family-oriented craft brewery founded in 2009 to brew artisan beers made with the best local ingredients we can find. Dark Star is inspired by the wandering tribes scattered through the terrible journey of time and space and adrift in the dark matter between the spaces of then and now. Dark Star is dark, mysterious, yet silky. Oatmeal stout of grand proportions balanced by a firm hop handshake. Go ahead, enjoy the journey, because beer journey matters. That's actually pretty dope. It's a great reading there.
Yeah, I like it, and I like the dragon on the front. That's been a pretty consistent theme for most of Fremont's beers, that they've usually incorporated some kind of dragon on their cans or whatever. So I like it. They even have a a Kraken, I think, or a Sky Kraken beer.
Sky Kraken.
Yeah,
That one's really good.
yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think about this beer? Since we're changing subjects real quick before we get into the time travel aspect of Avengers.
I like it. It's an oatmeal stout, so it sits a little heavy, but if you like the stouts, this really is a great stout. It's super available. 6-packs, bombers, handles. It's a pretty popular beer. I imagine you've seen it around. Nice kind of sweet, chocolatey, coffee-y, stouty, oatmeal-y, dark beverage.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah. It's tasty. I get those cocoa and espresso notes that it purports itself to be. I don't know why they call it, I'm not getting a lot of oatmeal to it.
No, I think that maybe is just kind of have to do with how thick it is, but it's not even all that thick. For a stout, I'd say.
Probably more or less the malts, maybe. But yeah, no, it's very thick. The thickness on this one.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I feel like for me, it almost tastes like any other oatmeal stout.
Okay.
It definitely smells like it, in my opinion. I do smell the oatmeal.
Oh, you do?
Once I breathe it in.
Oh, that's good.
But overall, I'm not mad at it. You know, I'm not too crazy about my coffees in gin.
Right.
But
But this has quite a bit of mocha taste.
But it's not overpowering, in my opinion. At least not to my palate.
Okay.
Well, that says a lot. Okay.
It does. It does.
I was very particular.
I am. I want to rate it at 3.5. I'm not mad at it. It's definitely not one. I may have one or two, but that's about it.
But when you're in the mood for a stout, and again, we're not stout guys, really. When I say we, I mean Paul and myself. Kind of, you really will. You're the only one.
Yeah.
And I know there are a lot of other people out there, but there are occasions.
Well, that's
where
why you have me on the cast.
Yeah, for sure, it's nice to have that balance, you know.
Yep.
But there are definitely occasions where I do want a stout or a darker beer, and when I want one, if this one's available, I'm excited because it's one I'm happy to go at.
It's a great standby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it hits all those flavor notes that you want, pretty much, in my opinion. And that's probably why I'm going to rate it at 3.75.
Cool.
Neat.
I'll give it a 3.25. For those reasons, I like it, but it's a stout and it's still a well-rated beer. I like the 8%.
Agreed.
That's what I got. Who hasn't rated it? Vic,
Vic.
did you rate it?
I have it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do a 3 even on this one. It's not blowing me away. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of stouts. Right now we're in the middle of spring. I'm very much a seasonal person. If it's hot, I want something cool and refreshing. If it's cold, I want something like thick
Absolutely.
and warm. If it's fall, I want a little bit of a difference. Like if it's early spring, probably want a sour.
Dude, for
Like,
sure. And like
that's where I'm
it's
at.
been warming up like a motherfucker lately. And I'd say when it's warm, I like to drink light beer. Even though as a craft beer enthusiast, if I want a light beer, I love Corona. I can't help it. And to go from like a Mexican style cerveza or a lager or something lighter that we tend to drink this time of year to this motherfucker.
Yeah.
To be granted, I do think that if we had rated this on like December 5th or something like that, I think this would be rated higher.
Oh, I
I
totally
was going to
agree.
say the exact same thing. I wonder if we came back and drank this, in 8 months, whatever, when it's a lot colder and the weather started to turn again,
Mhm.
if that changes.
Oh, I know my rating would 100% change.
Mine would go up.
Mhm.
Back to Avengers.
All right,
I
so
think
where
that's enough
we
of the beer. We missed something though, because we talked about Thor, but there's a big part because Vic was right. We were kind of all over the place, but they go back and pick up Thor after some much line in Tonsberg, Norway, which, fun fact,
Call back.
Captain
Captain America,
America, the first one where Red Skull gets the Tesseract from.
Oh,
that's New
that's
Asgard.
really that's the same place.
It's the same place.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so they get there and they find Thor. Do you guys notice anything new about Thor?
I
I've
did.
never related to him more than ever.
Jerry, I bet you did.
His homeboy got chunky.
I feel like
and we have the same birthday. Okay?
I feel like if I could ever cosplay Thor, it would be now.
Oh, man.
Oh, that would be a great cosplay.
He got so because who was it? What, Hulk and Natalia?
Mhm.
Was there one other person that go for him, or was it just those two? And they run into Valkyrie, and he's like, he only comes back into town when he needs supplies, and they turn over, and it's just this pile of empty kegs, like
Mhm.
pile.
There would have been like 15 or 20 kegs
Mhm.
in this pile. At
So
least.
poor Thor is so heartbroken because chopping Thor's head or Thanos' head off didn't do anything. He thought he would get some semblance of peace. He didn't.
He's still lost.
He still lost.
Yeah.
So just become a massive alcoholic and is chunky.
Yeah,
He's put on a little bit of LBs and lost some muscle.
Let's just call it what it is. He is now the dude.
He's the dude.
He's-
Oh my God, how much he looked. And they even I think Iron Man even calls him Lebowski.
straight.
Yeah.
And he fucking dresses like Lebowski.
Yep.
Like, holy shit.
He's turned his red cape into some kind of like red lounge robe.
Just like just a gown, a house robe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's got the total beer gut, man tits, yeah, all of it.
And at first you're like, does he have the ability to put on weight? Like, clearly he does. Like, I know you're a fucking golden Norwegian god, but goddamn, you put on some weight, buddy.
You're talking about Chris Hemsworth right there?
Talking about Chris Hemsworth.
I think he was in a fat suit, but
Oh, no, of
totally,
course
totally.
he was. Yeah, of
What?
course
No, he
was.
actually put on all that weight. You guys didn't.
Then he
Fucking
lost
fat
it
suit.
to do the,
I know, to still
do the press on that.
obviously it was a fat suit.
that being said, I still feel like I can cosplay that right now.
Well, you don't need a fat suit.
Shut up, Sherry.
That was a deep cut, son.
I
We
set
just
you
need to
up
get
for
you
that.
a
I
fake
did.
beard
I
and a
know.
wig.
We're
and you're
good. You're good.
Yeah, and he's
It's
just
all
hanging
good.
out with Korg and Meeseeks and dogs.
Playing
On the
fucking
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Playing, yeah, getting pissed off at some asshole.
5
who's
years
just
in the future, Fortnite.
fucking
Still. Actually,
trolling him.
this was before the 5 years in the future.
This brings
right?
us to now.
No, this is after the 5 years in the future. Just after. Because Scott Lang came back.
When they
After
go
the
back to
5
get
years.
Thor, when he's all okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, Scott Lang came back after the 5 years.
Yes.
Yes. Took him 5 years to get back,
We've been drinking. It's good.
bro. God, what did we get after this? So where were we then?
Then at this
We're
point,
assembling the team.
we're assembling the team, and we are ready to try Scott Lang's time travel theorem. We get Hulk giving Scott Lang some extra tacos.
So yeah. Oh, that was so cute.
That was great.
Well, yeah, that's because the Milano pulled up with Nebula and Raccoon and fucking Rocket drinking. So
Scott's eating lunch
Scott's
outside.
eating lunch. He's eating a hard shell taco, and then War Machine rolls up as well as somebody else. Who rolled up? Somebody, yeah.
I don't know.
He's like, be careful, there's some idiot eating a taco here. And fucking Rhodey rolls up and just boom. blows his-
Nebula.
Nebula did. Yeah.
said that.
Oh yeah. She was talking to Rhodey on that one. It's
Mhm.
just cracked me up.
It's like, what up, regular man? Or,
I mean,
Yeah, regular size man.
here's the interesting thing. Yeah, like there's a lot of moments of levity and a lot of weird spaces. And in my personal opinion, is I don't think they needed as many moments of levity as they injected into the film, because I thought in some ways it took away from the dramatic pieces.
See, I think in certain movies they have done that, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, certain ones. I don't agree that happened in this case. I thought the moments of levity were appropriate.
Really? Okay.
And then when there was a low moment, they kind of let you sit in that without having to make a silly tongue-in-cheek joke right after it to try and immediately push
Yeah,
it back.
there were times in this movie, because it is very funny. But
Yeah.
there are times in this movie that I started laughing looking at the character's reaction on screen, and then that same character then plays it straight and then continues the plot line forward. And they didn't have that, or they didn't verbalize that same reaction that I read in their face. So yeah, I agree with Mr. Jared Basco on this.
Okay. Yeah, and maybe it was just me though.
no, I agree with Vic. I felt it was too cheeky.
Oh, okay.
Too cheeky. But I also think that it did portray moments when it needed to be dramatic very well.
Agreed. I agree with that.
But a bit too cheeky, a bit too Disney at points.
Dude, that has one thing. I cannot argue that fact. Disney in general, rather it's been these Marvel ones, these Star Wars ones, whatever, when they have these serious moments, they always try to have some tongue-in-cheek joke
It makes
or
it-
moment after
You
that.
want to watch
Something
the
for the
movie. Yeah.
kids or whatever it may be. And I do like that because obviously everybody loves to laugh, right? But sometimes it's, take it easy.
Well,
You're on
yeah,
Third-
take it
you're on
easy.
3rd Street, But I still, this one, because that was one thing I was nervous of, but maybe I need to watch it again, but I do not feel that way at all on this one. I thought the moments of levity were appropriate. I thought the timing, the emotion, it was a roller coaster all over the place, but I don't think they hit you too hard from one to another.
The only thing that I worry about with the levity is I wonder if those same jokes land, 4 years down the line.
We'll find out.
But
That's
we'll
one
find
thing that makes me kind of nervous about like The Force Awakens and Rogue One's, the modern Star Wars ones, is those jokes sometimes seemed a little more modern than timeless. And I do wonder if those will hold
Agreed.
up. And we'll see this one we'll know in 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
We'll see if we remember this conversation.
So now we're going to go get the stones.
But yeah, so with the stones, and we get a lot of cool ones. And this is one thing that's one of my favorite moments, and I keep thinking about this, and it just makes me laugh, and so I'm gonna share it. When they're sneaking through and they're in New York, and Cap I can't remember who he's fighting, but it's Tony and Ant-Man, and they're going through, and Tony
Talking
goes
really loud.
really loudly, but Tony's like, Cap, that suit did nothing for your ass. And then Ant-Man goes, don't listen to him, Cap. That's America's ass. Which, that alone is fucking hilarious.
It's a great
It
line.
Right?
is. It
Fucking
is.
hilarious. But then we get to this point where, of course, Cap's trying to chase down the Tesseract after Ant-Man and Tony fuck it up.
Yeah.
And he gets there, they're in the elevator, and we think we're going to get this recreated elevator fight scene, right?
Yep.
But then
From Winter Soldier.
from Winter Soldier, which was beautiful, and then Cap just leans over and says, "Hell, Extra." I thought you guys were going to fill that in.
I was waiting for you. I was looking at the audio.
Which was awesome. I love the way he just played him like that and just walks out. So I was just really intense to, okay.
See a fight scene.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. But of course, the action did not stop there because, shit.
We get the mirror match.
He runs into himself. Dude, and that was a pretty fun fight,
It was
too.
great.
Some good judo in that, which of course it was. It was Captain America. But I love that he takes like the Tesseract, the spear, whatever, old new current Cap, and knocks out past Cap. He's face down, ass up. And I love he looks down and just goes, that is America's ass.
This is one of the all-time
Come on.
roaring
Dude, the
laughter
whole
movies.
theater popped so hard on that one. That was, I think, not just my favorite joke in that movie. That might be my new favorite joke in Marvel. Just all of them, all the ones that they've done, dude. Especially coming from somebody like Steve Rogers, who like the first Avengers or something, Tony goes, "Oh shit," and Cap goes, "Language," or
Yeah.
whatever.
Ultron,
That you know, back to loosened up so much and kind of gotten into this world where it just goes, "That is America's ass."
I
Loved
think it played more to fan service, if anything, than
This movie was 90%.
yeah,
fan
exactly.
service,
And I
bro.
think that's why that particular scene happened because they all. I feel like when that happened, you know?
No, I bet, yeah.
And it was just one of those things like keep it in.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
how can
yeah.
you not? That was so. Yeah.
But I think the whole movie though, it's just a one big anime. It's all fan service.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
But I mean, it kind
They're
of
closing a
had to be,
chapter,
though, right?
make a new chapter.
I mean, after where we were
Exactly.
at it.
But that's also one of my problems, I guess, with this particular movie. It
Sure.
was just because I was just like, everything's almost predictable at this
Sure,
moment. You know,
okay.
like it's like 85% of the movie for me is like I already know what's happening
Mhm.
until the end scene, in which I just jizzed all over myself in Vic.
Okay, so let's hold off on that. I am curious to see what that's like, but I kind of want to be we've already fucked it up as close to chronological as possible.
We're like, what, like an hour in already, or an
Are
hour
we?
20? Yeah.
We're
Okay,
gonna
let's start to wrap up.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
well, not necessarily wrap up, but at least we got to hit the main point. So one of the things that I thought was somewhat predictable in terms of how it was going to play out, but maybe I want to hear your guys' thoughts was we're going to get the stones and Scarlett Johansson, or sorry,
Yeah.
Black Widow
and Vormir, right?
Yeah, they go to Boromir to get the Soul Stone, and as
Mhm.
we know, one person can lead.
Soul for a stone, man.
One person has to make a
It's like,
sacrifice.
didn't you motherfuckers watch the last movie?
Yeah.
Dude,
So-
that was one thing too. I was kind of like that with like you didn't take like I don't know a chimpanzee with you or something. Harambe, throw him off the
They
cliff.
didn't know in general.
The
I mean,
interesting,
come on.
Nebula would have known, and she did not tell Hawkeye or.
Probably on a little bit on purpose.
Well, and did even Gamora know at that particular time before she was killed?
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, I mean, so how would Nebula know then?
Because Gamora didn't come back. She knew what happened.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
but still, she's going through some shit. She probably didn't think about it.
So how, were you able, like, for myself, I was able to predict, like, oh yeah, they're definitely going to fight who's going to sacrifice themselves first.
And
I mean,
you
yeah.
would have thought about that, Paula. Sorry, there's no way that these two people are going to go to the planet or the place to get to the
So
stone
this is
where
one of
your
those movie things
sister
that you just gotta
died.
let go.
You kind of have to where your
Yeah.
sister died and not be like, oh, that's right, my sister died there. Jeez, how'd she die? Oh, motherfucker had to throw her off
I
to
mean, she
get
didn't
this
bring that up in the
stone.
movie later
So-
on, but it's just one of those things you just gotta let go as a movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that to me was, if I have one thing about the movie that really fucking like chapped me a little bit, actually irked me, that's what it is, because I feel like they should have known that. So for them to get there and be like, surprise,
I'm gonna try to warn you after I get attacked.
yeah, I don't.
I didn't appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm just, like, I kind of understand that fact that it had to have been Black Widow that made that sacrifice. But I kind of wonder, like, from the director's standpoint, and I really hope that they do something like this on the DVD release or Blu-ray release or whatever, that they are able to say that they chose who to go to what timeline and after what stone and why.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's another thing that I was kind of curious is that why did you have X team up with X, and then why did you have this person go to this person? Because that's also interesting to me is, oh, you picked the two non-superpowered people to go together, but
But-
don't you think you should do one superpower and one non-superpower?
Oh,
Here-
one had to die.
Here's
Exactly.
the point to that, which is the exact that it's interesting. They call it strange alchemy when they have people who don't really personalities really collide, or you wouldn't suspect that they would be together or work in smaller
tandem.
teams in
Yeah.
tandem. So yeah, so that was one of the special features on Avengers Infinity War. Part 1, they call it strange alchemy, and that is a particular reason why that happens that way. So that would be that.
Okay.
All right.
So check that special feature out. It's
I'll have to do that.
Now that sounds almost exactly like what he was like.
exactly.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So moving on from there, we've got the Captain America mirror match. So we've got everything else. The last stone that they had to get was the Power Stone, right?
Well, there was the Time Stone, which was a pretty cool scene between the Sorcerer Supreme and Hulk when she soul karates him out of his body.
Yes.
For the Time Stone, and kind of how they explain the fracture and how they'll fix it. So that was a pretty fun scene. So we get that one.
elevates Doctor Strange to a new height as what the Sorcerer Supreme Tilda Swinton's character says. He is supposed to be the best of us.
Mhm.
And she knew that 5 years in advance.
Yeah.
Which is another kind of plot hole, because she did seem to have quite a bit of contention about training him and saying she didn't want him to turn out evil like Caecilius in the movie. But whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, just go with it.
Yeah.
You get what we get.
So at this point, we all come. I guess the only part that we're really missing is the fact that Nebula is Thanos starts to realize that by capturing Nebula, that what is going on, that he has accomplished his mission, and this is like the turn of the movie.
Yeah, it seems that the Nebula from the past and the Nebula from the present have basically a local area network with each other. And
Wasn't that weird? Okay,
Fucking
that
apparently.
I thought was also kind of strange. Is like, what?
Right, yeah. And
Yeah.
so through basic quantum entanglement, which I'm not going to say basic, but that's exactly what's happening. Quantum entanglement.
And a landline.
Yeah. They're able, past nebula is able to see present nebulas, all thoughts, memories, and basically how the events play out. So that's how Thanos is able to see what's happening in the future, as well as Nebula, which is interesting. I did not suspect her to play such an important role in the film, and yet she did.
Well, I expected her to play an important role in the film, but I didn't expect her role to be that she would enhance Thanos' position, because in the comics, she's the one that's responsible for betraying Thanos and eventually getting the glove off of him.
Mhm.
But remember, it was
So-
the past one, the past Nebula doing that.
That is true.
So
That is
her,
true.
the psychology at that point is really the game changer. So I thought that was
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
So we have all that. We have them, War Machine and Nebula, which I thought was one of the most touching moments of the film, where War Machine at this point is basically, he's crippled, he's disabled, he's paraplegic,
Mhm.
he can't walk. And then you have Nebula, and she's like, I wasn't always like this. And he comes back and says, well, we make do with what we have. And I don't know, to that, as far as like a movie that ever says anything to anybody that has been disabled, on crutches, on, riding a wheelchair, I feel like it was very powerful.
Yeah.
And that just those couple simple lines. So
No, it was a great
it,
metaphor.
it was something that I took away and was like, I want to remember that. And I wanted to make sure that I mentioned it on the podcast too.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And then we have all the stones. We're bringing them back, and what happens? Thanos' ship rises up out of the top of Avengers Coliseum, and we have the showdown.
Yeah, because fucking Nebula helps Thanos figure out time travel 5 years earlier.
Yeah.
Is
Well,
that land?
Yeah, that was past what?
past Nebula assumes current Nebula's role, takes her
I was
GPS
just saying,
time
right?
travel
But
device.
that was
and
the
then-
whole thing, that like weird
Yeah.
connection they had to where like that was
Yeah.
interesting.
Super nuts.
But Nebula is kind of like a cyborg
Yeah.
character, so maybe there would be something there that would
Eh,
cause they're like that same wavelength feed that's
Same quantum
very
entanglement.
unique. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to defend Nebula. Okay. But,
No, I'm with
yeah,
you.
that was an interesting one. And then Gamora 5 years earlier, still already ready to fuck up Thanos, knowing like I'm just biding my time, bro.
Yep. Yep.
Just biding my time. Because I know you a bad mamma jamma.
Shut your mouth. Yeah. And then from there, we collected all the stones. Tony Stark somehow does what, God damn it, what the world's oldest elves and the greatest blacksmiths of the entire universe created an infinity gauntlet to hold all the stones. Because Tony Stark is fucking ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
small,
Tony Stark.
small note here.
Snake.
The original Infinity Gauntlet was left-handed. It went on your left hand. Tony Stark's Infinity Gauntlet went on your right hand.
Interesting.
Well, he's right-handed.
Just small thing that I noticed.
I don't think that matters.
Probably
Interesting.
not.
But
I'm feeling
think of the
fine.
metal that Stormbreaker is made of, and then Tony's just like, I'm gonna make my own gauntlet out of like titanium or whatever.
Well, or maybe it's kind of harkens back. I don't know, because we didn't pull it back. But remember, what was it? Iron Man 3, when he discovers a new element,
That was Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2,
Yeah.
which is kind of like a vibranium-esque element. So hey, maybe it was that. It's Tony Stark,
He
man.
carried more power. It wasn't vibranium.
I don't know, but to me, that's one of those things where it's like it's Tony Stark.
Well, that was part of the movie too. Like, it's Tony Stark. Like, even Rocket was just like, you're just the most brilliant person on Earth,
right.
you know. But then Tony's like, I'm kind of in general, really. Let's be honest.
Right. I like how Rocket said that, and then it even seemed like after a while he realized like, okay, just yes,
You do you, boo.
Yeah. You are. Okay, you're just one of the most brilliant creatures.
Because he found time travel. Even Thanos was like, what the fuck?
Upsettingly quick, too.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. Just like, well, I haven't done anything in a while, and here's time travel.
And I learned how to use.
But it is the only other character in the Marvel universe that could get away with that is not in the MCU. Would be maybe Reed Richards.
And it was so nonchalant. Yeah, it's like Tony Stark just discovered time travel. That's cool. Don't worry about it.
Which, yeah, it goes back to Doctor Strange's point, which is why he saved Tony Stark to make sure that was possible, just to be able to make this inevitability, this possibility, this outcome occur.
And so much that happened, people were like, you know what? Let's just
Fine.
go with it. Let's just go with it. Yeah. That's the whole thing in the movie. Let's just go with it.
Yeah.
That's cool.
There were, like I said, certain issues I had with the movie, but overall I really enjoy it. So obviously they gather their shit, Thanos figures it out, and then we have that end battle scene.
We have the third act, which occurs, which is a
Let's talk
battle.
about this. So the main three that you have really kind of fucking up Thanos at first. Thor, or really Scarlet Witch. Oh, that Scarlet Witch versus Thanos one off. But I guess that was more towards the end. But that was a nice one-on-one. And Thor, him and Thanos having a pretty good battle. It looks like Thanos getting the best of them. Thor and Thanos are Stormbreaker and fight. It looks like he's going to Stormbreaker him right to his throat. And then, whack, get slapped in the back of the head by Mjolnir. But not wielded by Thor. Wielded by the only other person worthy.
Captain fucking America.
That, for me, in the theater, was our biggest pop.
Dude.
I saw people were standing up. I think I almost jumped up on that one, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my
People
God. Like,
cheered at
I'm
that
getting
moment.
goosebumps. My eyes are watering. I was so excited.
Dude, I remember physically getting goosebumps at that
Yeah.
moment. I was like, oh my gosh. And then, of course, Thor says, like,
I know it's worthy because fucking of course he is. Dude, in that Cap versus Thanos scene with the shield and the hammer, and then
Dude,
fucking
Was it not amazing?
Dude.
Captain America had a command
on
Mjolnir.
because
Like,
of course he did.
Because he's watched it in battle so much.
He's one of the most intelligent combatants in the Marvel universe.
Dude, it was
Man, and
fantastic.
of course he's watched Thor. He knows how to fuck shit up. He knows how to handle his shit. He's the man's man.
Dude.
When it comes to that, dude. I was so excited. And then, obviously they're fighting. He kind of starts to fuck up Captain America because he's still Thanos. Shatters his shield, pretty much.
Just breaks it down.
And then, that Scarlet Witch scene, though, where she comes up to Thanos, man. Oh, that was fun.
Oh, well, after Cap, masters Mjolnir within fucking 30 seconds.
Right.
That's when the whole universe comes in.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's when Scarlet Witch comes in as well.
Yeah, the on your left statement
Because everyone's-
by Falcon,
Everyone's alive at that point.
Yeah.
After they had, created the snap and then figured out what was going on, and then
The
decided
first snap
to
that
come.
the Hulk did.
Yes.
With his gamma snap, which was pretty cool. Like, it was kind of sad not to see the Hulk fight in the in-battle scene, but he legitimately was the only one that could do the first snap to being
Without it killing him.
head, right? And it still almost killed it still fucked him up.
Yeah, and the Hulk has an incredible healing factor to him
Yeah,
as well. So
which
the
is
fact that didn't heal, it took as long as it did. That took me a second. I was like, dude, that should be right back.
that's how powerful that snap. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then that final battle scene again, loving it with just Cap and Thor next to each other. They're commanding the hammers. Cap gets Stormbreaker and Thor has Mjolnir. And Thor's like, here, no, switch. You get the little hammer.
Yeah,
Right?
I want the big one.
You get the little one. I'll take that one.
Dude, again, I laughed so hard at that. What a hilarious, great moment.
What got me was when everyone else came back into reality of our realm, and everyone had comms. Like, I can hear you, Cap. I can hear you, Tony. I can hear you, everybody else. We're all talking to each other.
Yeah.
It just happened.
You didn't know the Infinity Stone comes with comm links?
Exactly. It's a prerequisite.
Well, and I'm sitting there like, did they just keep the same frequency, not change it? I'm hoping.
From 5 years
And
ago.
also, I feel
The
like
same
every
one
like a
from 5
condom
years
warrior.
ago.
It's just like, I hear you too, guys. Don't worry about it. You know?
Because, I mean, if you think about it, maybe they did because they knew they were going to bring it back from the same moment in time 5 years ago. So
Maybe they kept it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
mean, those are just general channels. You know that they're, gonna
Every
be able to find
fucking,
them.
there's like a billion people there. They're like, what up, Cap? How's it going? How's your day? It's cool, man. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to you later to get a drink. That's what I got from that fucking scene right there.
Every time Paula is speaking now, he's now lifting his finger up into his ear.
Yeah, because I gotta
Yes,
calm
he's gotta
myself.
calm.
I gotta calm myself. And then Pepper Potts coming as rescue, already knowing how to use her armor. I understand that somewhat, because in Iron Man 3, she kind of knew how to fight from the extremist
A little bit,
virus. But still, she's just like, ba-bam, ba-bam.
No,
She's
ba-bam,
pretty
ba-bam, ba-bam.
badass.
She had a command of that armor.
Like,
which is
a
super
command
intuitive.
of it.
Yeah.
But also, isn't there that whole thing that's been on where Tony like makes this armor based off your pretty much your biological code, so it's incredibly intuitive.
Sure. Yeah.
So, and then we miss 5 years. It's talking about,
Yeah, again, these are things.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, these are things.
but still, let's talk about like great moments though. When Spider-Man comes back and they're fighting, has the badass one, and then Tony sees him, picks him up, and just hugs him. Oh, my
He's like-
voice is cracking thinking about it.
He's like,
Oh,
this
That's-
this
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 is
is
nice.
nice. This different.
yeah, and a real hug
I'm
this
glad.
time.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, that was just so much. Yeah, just welcoming back. Hey, son, I'm happy you're here.
Well, because Tony had so much regret about losing Peter.
Mhm.
Like, he felt so
Yeah,
responsible
yeah.
for his death.
100%.
I mean, to me, even though knowing everybody was coming back, that was the hardest one to watch. Was Peter's in the first of it.
Well, you'd
Infinity
even
War.
give him a little bit of tiny bit of exposition, just
Yeah.
for something for him to say.
So just awesome moments, and of course, they get there, they come together, they're fucking shit up. Thanos almost has all the stones, and then Tony pulls the switcheroo. And then
Well, and that's a cool thing because, like, he created the gauntlet from his own technology. So, of course,
Yeah.
he could easily, like, maneuver the stones.
Fit into his own fucking gauntlet.
Like, through nanotechnology, just roll it right back into his hand. He's like,
it was
Well, and to me,
Slick
that
as
was
fuck, dude.
the biggest like wrap up of the
Fucking
MCU
slick.
idea, like as a whole, because the whole idea of Iron Man 1, where this whole thing started, right? Him in that cave is, I'm going to re-obtain control of any Stark weapons, right? And he
Right.
just totally used that same technology to re-obtain
yeah.
the Infinity Stones. That's what he did.
Dude, and I loved it too after them pulling this off, and then of course that line that we heard many times through Thanos, I am inevitable. And then Tony going, well, I am Iron Man.
And then
that was pretty good.
You
That was
skipped
a pretty
over-
good final line. I'm not
You,
gonna lie.
you did skip over one awesome final line, which we've
Oh.
been waiting for, and that's when everybody does appear and Cap says, "Avengers assemble." We've been waiting, I don't know
Dude.
how many years. for
10
that.
years,
Dude, and they
line.
teased it. So thank you so much. Well, I'm so glad
You're
I didn't go unnoticed. I would have been so upset. So that was the one. So the theater I was in, they were really cool. They gave a lot of pops, but that was one for me when that moment happened. I was like, holy fucking shit, finally! And like everyone else was like, and I was like, you fucking swine.
No, I agree.
You
with
don't
the
deserve
people in
to
the
be
crowd,
alive.
because it was like it wasn't the right scene for it. Because like Avengers so at the particular moment before you fight, I felt like on when Bucky came in, Winter Soldier, or was it Civil War? I can't remember right at this particular moment. But when he was about to say Avengers, I said, well, that would have been more appropriate.
Mhm.
At that particular moment, before you fight, I didn't feel it, Avengers Assemble.
You didn't feel that as opposed to the end of Ultron, which
Yeah, I didn't feel
is when it cuts right before he said he's just
Yeah.
He did it for
and then
fan
it
service.
cuts.
He did it for fan service. That's what it was.
Yeah, because they were already assembled. I was like,
it was just we got to put that in there, in my opinion.
Okay, all right,
I see what you're
get
saying,
that
PK.
critique.
Yeah, I like it.
I get that critique.
I'll give you that.
I like that it finally happened.
It had-
I almost agree with you, PK, that it should have happened earlier, but yeah.
It couldn't have though.
They
That
did
was
for
the
fan
only time
service.
they were all there, and you had to
That's
say the line.
Everybody,
Yeah.
you know,
I
they did
guess
for
you're
fan
right.
service.
I guess you're right, with Iron Man being there and everything too, yeah.
The only time I think they could have appropriately used it. So it was fan service, but it had to be. But I thought it was appropriate.
It was cliche.
Well, if you're gonna have
Sometimes you got to be cliche.
Winter
you go.
Soldier lift
There you
the,
go.
or, Cap lift Mjolnir, you might as well always have to say the line.
So and then let's get towards the end. Let's start to finish up. We're getting way too long here. So obviously, and that is the end of our beloved, great, wonderful Tony Stark, Iron Man,
With the snap, yeah.
with the snap.
Tony
Because
Snaps,
of course
yeah.
he has the technology, he has the brain, he still has the body of a human,
Mhm.
which isn't going to be able to withstand that, you know. And he knew that going in. We all knew that. And oh my God, I cried so hard. That was
Just to feed itself to wield all 5 stones. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, come on,
yeah.
that alone.
And that I think is one part of his technology, but obviously that's where kind of we lose him. And then we, after all that, it does a little bit of almost like the Lord of the Rings thing, where it seems like it has to wrap up in 8 different ways. But also, we had 21 movies, not 3, so it kind of.
It's a lot to
It
wrap
did
up.
earn a little bit more.
But we just saw the wrap up in sort of a core storylines.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the wrap up, and then let's wrap up.
So you guys cried at Tony's little death scene there with Pepper Potts.
So I cried so many
can
times
rest
during
now
this
and-
movie, I can't even count. Like my tear ducts were dried out. Just today was the first time I was able to cry again because of allergies, and that's it. Before I would had crazy allergies, but my eyes were just dry and in pain. They had no lube because I cried them all out during Endgame.
So for me, this thing was I didn't shed a tear, as it will. I didn't have a tear roll down my cheek until a little bit later in the film, but I definitely teared up a lot. We'll get to that little point here when I lost it in a second. But what about you guys? Was the time for you?
Oh, I probably teared up at least 4 times in the movie. Yeah.
Well, the only time I teared up was when Iron Man had passed away. Before then, I was pretty straightforward and stoic. Nothing really hit me too hard at that particular moment. Before then,
Here's the interesting thing though. For me, I'm most emotional in the mornings. It's who I am. It's what it is. So like, it was my morning, and I was very emotional.
Well, and here's my thing too. I went real hard to not drink anything, and then I get there, and every time there was a reference to a character that died or a character died, I took a good swig out of my flask of whiskey. So not only was it already a long day because I've been working hard, I was a little emotional and then maybe a little drunk on top of that. So I was extra leaky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out my face hole.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
I don't either.
Well,
The stories, the longevity of these stories touched you in so many ways that it's hard not to. And it's something we've been following since we were.
And so that's one thing. Like so, and then let's just get to the Tony Stark funeral, which was super sad. You had his beautiful hologram where he talks straight to his daughter.
And that's the part that got me.
I love you 3000.
And dude,
So
it
cute.
made me have to catch my breath, and just tears just streamed down my face at that point because I have a 6-year-old girl at home.
Yeah.
And dude, that hit me. It still hits me even just thinking about it, even now. Like,
And then it goes right, and it is exactly. It's hard. It's a beautiful scene. But then they put on his original arc reactor, the one that Pepper Potts gifted to him. Tony Stark has a heart or whatever. Does a symbolic release it on the lake, and then pans through just everybody in the Marvel universe. Did you guys notice the one I was kind of thrown off, and I had to look it up, was the teenager at the end.
well, I knew who that was.
From Iron Man
Immediately.
3.
Did you guys know
Yeah.
immediately?
Yeah.
Paula
Really?
did. I did not.
I believe Paula did, absolutely, especially
I
that.
picked it up,
But
yeah.
I did not until I went back and I was like, yeah, that's the little boy from Iron Man 3.
Yeah.
And if I would have known that, I probably would have had a
Lost
lot. Oh God, dude! So there were a lot of things. Like, was this a perfect movie? No. Was it the best comic book movie ever? Probably not. It was really good though. I really enjoyed it. I love the story. I love the way it wrapped up. I loved Cap's happy ending.
Yes.
You know, some people say they had an issue with that, that it broke the rules of time travel. But well,
It's a
not only
movie.
that, not only who cares, you don't fucking know. You don't know the rules of time travel as much as you want to say, that's not the rules. Fuck you, you're not a time traveler. You just fucking want to think you know the rules of something that doesn't actually exist.
That's my point.
Fuck off.
No, it's
Like,
also the
that
rules of the
irritates
movie.
me so
Yeah.
bad. But whatever. It is what it is. Cap earned his happy ending send off,
Oh,
and I
100%.
like the way it was done. And I like this movie, and I'm gonna watch it again.
What do you guys
again.
think about Cap passing the shield over to Falcon?
But you knew it was gonna happen. Like,
And we knew it was gonna happen eventually, and I like that, but I legitimately didn't know whom he was gonna pass it to.
I don't think. Yeah, it was either Buck or Sam.
We know it's one of the two.
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't know. I could in no way had one strong inclination of one over the other.
I've had multiple people tell me that it should have been Bucky Shield the
No.
whole time.
Absolutely
No, it should have been
and
Sam.
Absolutely not.
To my opinion, like everything that's
Tell him
been
to read
going
a
on,
goddamn comic book. And
it-
Anthony Mackie, yo.
yeah, it should
Come
be
on.
Falcon.
It should be Falcon. There's no two ways about that. He was Captain America in the comic books after Captain before Winter Soldier or Bucky was, and still in a lot of incantations he is. That was 1,000% the right call. And I cannot wait to see what Anthony Mackie does with the mantle, because he is an underrated gem of an actor, comedian, action star. Great man.
You know he's gonna do one thing. He's gonna yell, "Cut the check!
Cut the check.
Cut the check.
Cut the check!"
Well, as a cinema standpoint, it only makes sense for Mackie, really. Not for Bucky at all.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's way more of a charismatic sort of leading
You've got to
man.
know more of him as a personality than
And
Bucky.
exactly. So I couldn't agree. Couldn't agree more. You guys got anything else? I think it's about time to wrap up.
Yeah, we're at about 2 hours. I enjoyed the movie. I say go watch it in movie theaters, please.
You have to.
I would really hope that you hadn't listened to everything that we've spoiled, and instead would have watched it for yourself.
I hope not.
Yeah.
But you really should watch this. Enjoy it. I'm happy with the conclusion. Ultimately, it didn't leave me wanting a whole lot. It didn't leave me disappointed. It didn't leave me upset. I appreciated it.
Did it end up living up to the hype?
I think so.
I think so.
I agree. PK?
Half and half.
Okay.
He's been cranky lately. Don't worry about that.
That's just how I feel about those
I'm
in
just
general.
kidding.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You guys been watching anything, reading anything, doing anything, playing anything?
I'm just gonna. It's been 3 weeks. I'm just gonna cover the last week for me, which has been amazing because I haven't had to work 12-hour days, 5 days in a row. So in the last week, I was able to watch Glass, Aquaman, Bumblebee. I installed the trampoline for my kids, which is awesome. They loved it. I went axe throwing at Section 37, local favorite.
Nice.
Out in Boise. Go check them out if you can. Because axe throwing, honestly, you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of bowling with deadly weapons. Go do that instead of bowling, because there's bowling arenas everywhere. Axe throwing is with deadly weapons. You can say, I threw an axe today, and that's pretty damn cool. Other than that, I've just been trying to get through the Mortal Kombat 11 storyline. Found a video online. I'm about 3 out of the 4.5 hours long that is. So
Wow.
It's been pretty cool. I've heard it's a really good game, but I don't know. You ask the other guys.
Well, we haven't, but I haven't been able to play. I've been,
I haven't either.
out of town working, so I haven't outside of the beta. But I'm gonna get down on that. But, I mean, my life is about Avengers and work, and I think I watched a little bit. I almost finished season 2 of Future Man. I do like that show. I can't help it.
Nice.
But nothing terribly exciting on this end.
Yeah, no, dude, I just noticed that the grindstone this past week. I've just been working.
When Paul is moving, so I don't know if he's had time to do it.
I haven't been doing shit. I've been drinking.
There we go. Always time for that. Because you can do anything while you drink, except drive.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's
But other than that, thanks for listening. Tell us your thoughts on Avengers Endgame. Follow us on all things social medias at Brewnomics. Myself at the Basco Fiasco.
I'm at Sinclair Will.
But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, I've been Jerry.
I'm Paula.
and I'm Vic.
I'm Will.
Cheers.
Cheers, Brew Crew.
I have to be so bad.
Yeah, me too. All right, we are out, gentlemen.
Agreed.
Okay. Oh, like we have to end this before our review becomes as long as the movie itself.
All right, we're done. Goodbye, YouTube. Have a wonderful week.